Hello students, a hearty welcome to Global Online UGC Net and SET exam preparation channel. So this is a video where we have brought more than 250 questions from Assam SLET or Northeast SET 2022 paper 1. We have taken questions from ICT, people development and environment, higher education, teaching aptitude, research aptitude and communication. So we have taken up minimum 50 questions from all these units, and after watching this complete video you will get a very clear idea of what kind of questions come from this unit, and it will also help you to revise the units for the upcoming examination. So do watch this video till the end to boost your marks for Northeast Set 2022 paper 1. To boost your preparation for Northeast Set 2022 paper 1, we have launched a complete course for you which will include 40 mock tests with solutions, complete notes on all the units, full syllabus video lectures and 2000 plus MCQ PDF for paper 1. So to avail this course you can either download Global Online app which is available on Play Store. Go on Play Store and look out for this logo which is present on the screen. Alternatively, the link is also present in the description box. You can also join us on our WhatsApp group. The number is given on the screen, and the fees for paper 1 is 999. We also have paper 2 material for all the subjects, so you can contact us for paper 2 material as well. The fees for the same is also 999. And the first question is, what is the full form of IoT? So IoT means Internet of Things. The right answer is option C. So IoT means it is the physical network where different objects they are connected because they have sensors, softwares and technologies. For instance, these days you can operate your air conditioner also with your mobile. Also, there are so many things that are connected. For example, your smart watch, they are connected to your mobiles. Whenever there is a message on the mobile, you can see it on your smartphone. What is all this? All these is Internet of Things because there are certain physical objects that have sensors, software and technology which help them to communicate with each other. So that is IoT, Internet of Things. It helps with wireless communication of different objects. A digital signature is called a digitally scanned signature, handwritten signature, encrypted information, or verbally communicated message. So a digital signature is a encrypted information. It means like there are certain digital documents that you want to send. So what you do it, you put a digital signature on it. So when it is received by the receiver, if the digital signature is valid, it means that the information that was inside it has not been altered while transmission. So the right answer is option C. It is an encrypted information. That means if it goes in the network, nobody is able to break it or change it. Okay, so here the right answer is C. Where does a computer add and compare its memory or its data? So compare a computer, it is responsible for modification of data. It works on data. So this comparison is done where in the computer? So it is done in the CPU. So CPU, it consists of, there are three components of CPU: control unit, ALU logical unit and memory unit. So this comparison is done by the ALU which is inside CPU. So in these four options, the right answer is option A. Comparison of data is done by CPU. Bandwidth of data communication is a measure of its physical dimension, data communication capacity, electrical parameters, or physical strength. So bandwidth of data is the data communication capacity. We say Gbps per second. What is gigabytes per second? These are data communication capacity, which is the bandwidth of data. Which malicious program cannot do anything until actions are taken to activate the file attached by the malware? So malware, if you have not heard of this term, malware is related to software. Like software, they are useful to do some kind of task like a web browser. But malware are those software whose main intention is to harm your computer.
Okay, so malware are softwares which are intended to harm a particular computer. So which malicious program cannot do anything until actions are taken to activate the files. So here the answer is option C. There are different types of malware. So virus is those malware which cannot do anything until you open the file. Okay, if there is a virus in certain file, like file 1, unless and until you open this file, nothing will happen to the computer. But as in when you open it, your computer will become infected. While worms, on the other hand, worm is also a kind of malware, but these do not require human intervention. Without human intervention also, they are able to transfer from one computer to the other. Okay, so virus require you to put some action, or you need to open the file, only then it will get infected. The tags placed on animals to record and track in a database all of the animal movements are known as RFID. The right answer is option B. RFID stands for radio frequency identification. So these tags are used to see where the animals are. Sometimes they are also used to calculate the number of animals or count in a place. A computer program that directly translates a program statement by statement into machine language is called. So this question is very important, I must tell you, because every year in one of the examinations it will come regarding program translation. So interpreter is the program that translates a computer program into machine language. You know that computer do not understand your language or my language. They understand only binary language, and humans, they understand high level languages. English language we understand. So we have formed a high level language which is like English. This helps you to code. So this English language has to be converted into binary language. The task of conversion from high level language to binary language is done by a translator. So a different type, there are different type of translator. Language translators are there. A compiler, there is compiler, but why the answer to this question is interpreter and not compiler? Because interpreter does this task statement by statement. Okay, while compiler, it translate one code into another in once, at once. Okay, the whole code is translated at once, but interpreter, it goes line by line. It will translate one statement, then other statement, like this it will go on. So the if this line is written instead of saying a program and one go, अगर क्वेश्चन ये बोलता है कि एक कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम जो डायरेक्टली ट्रांसलेट करता है एक प्रोग्राम को इन वन गो, if the question might have said in one go, then the answer would be compiler. But if the question says statement by statement or line by line, mark the answer as D. Read the following two statements. Okay, so there are two statements given in this question, and you have to tell if both are correct or neither are correct, or if second is correct, or if first is correct. So ICT is considered as a subset of IT. So this statement is incorrect because it is the opposite that is correct. ICT is the bigger circle. This is ICT, and IT is the subset of ICT. Okay, and it is not the vice versa. So this is incorrect while this is correct. IT is the subset of ICT. Okay. The right to use a piece of software is termed as copyright. So this statement is correct. Hence, option C is the right answer. Only second statement is correct. What is the full form of the abbreviation CD-ROM? So you might have heard about CD-ROM. We have used it extensively. CD-ROM stands for Compact disk read-only memory? The right answer is option C over here. Why it is read-only memory? Because we cannot change it. The manufacturer, they write it once and we cannot make any changes to read-only memory because it says read-only. That is why it can be only read and not written. Right answer is C. Multimedia comprises of. So what does a multimedia comprise of? Audio, text, video only, or text, audio, video. So a multimedia comprises of all these things. Multi means many and media means the medium of communication. So if you are using multiple mediums of communication, you are using text also, audio also, video also, all these things, if you are combining multiple mediums, if you are using, it is called multimedia. For example, slides, you see, PowerPoint slides, they are a very good example of multimedia. Next question is, information and communication technology comprises of online learning, learning through mobile application, video-based learning, or all of the above. So, ICT, information and communication technology, comprises of all these above. Online learning as well as learning through mobile application, also video-based learning. So, all these are the right answer. Python is a programming language, operating system, search engine, or snake. So you might have heard about programming language. These languages are used to write computer codes. So Python is a kind of a programming language. Also, Python is a kind of a snake. It is a very poisonous snake. So A and D are right answer to this question. Okay, next question. Which type of memory holds the computer startup routine? So when the computer starts, which memory is responsible, which has all the information about the computer startup? So that is a ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. So there is a program called BIOS that is embedded inside the ROM. It means basic input output system. So it has all the information about booting. Booting means when you click the power button of the computer and when the desktop appears on the screen, or the time frame that happens between 30 seconds or 1 minute. So at that time, booting process is done, which is done by BIOS program, which is inside the ROM. Okay. So ROM, read only memory, it holds the computer startup information. Next question. Given below are two statements, one is assertion and one is reason. Now we have to tell if both are true but R is not the correct explanation, or if both are true and R is the correct explanation of A. If A is true but A is false but R is true, or if A is true but R is false. So once I have told you, now going forward I will not tell you about these options. Okay, there are multiple assertion and reason in this video. Okay, so the first statement, that is assertion, it says total number of mobile users are increasing rapidly. Yes, this statement is true because we know nowadays every a small child or an elderly person, everybody is using a mobile phone. So the total number of mobile users are increasing, right? So this is correct. Let's look at the reason. The cost of mobile is decreasing. Yes, this is also very true. 15 years ago, the simple mobile that had only buttons, it used to cost 10 to 15,000 rupees. But now we get smartphone also in the range of 8,000 or 5,000. So the cost of mobile is decreasing or has decreased. That is why the number of mobile users have increased. So here both are correct and reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, B is the right answer. The file extension of MS Word document in Office 2007 is. And so file extension or file formats are very important for your exam perspective. Do study them for your paper 1. File extension of MS Word document is docs, DOCX. from MS Word 2007 or Office 2007 and above, Docs has been started to use. Before that, only Doc was used, but now Docs is used. What is the binary of number 9? So this conversion from decimal to binary, this number is a decimal number, right? 9. How will you convert it to binary? First, what do you do if such a question comes? Write a number like this, okay, and make two lines like this. Now write 2 over here. Divide this by 9. Divide 2 by 9. So what will be the quotient? Quotient will be 4 and the remainder will be 1. Okay. 2 4s are 8 and remainder will be 1. Again, divide 2 by 4. You will get quotient 2, remainder 0. Then again, divide 2 by 2. You will get quotient 1 and remainder 0. So here, but whenever you are writing the answer will be in reverse order. Okay. 1 0 0 1. In this situation, if you write 1 0 1, that is also true. But if like this, if it is the answer 1 1 0 0 1, so the answer will be 1 1 0 0 1. Okay. And not opposite. It will not be the opposite. So here the answer is option B, 1001. When you are converting decimal to binary, just write the number, keep on dividing it by 2, write the quotient here and the remainder at the side. While answering, write it in the reverse order. From bottom, go upwards and you will get the answer. Decimal to binary is very simple. What is the full form of bias? So in previous slide, I have told you there was one question about which memory holds the computer startup routine. For that question, the answer was ROM. So in that question, I did tell you about BIOS. So BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. So this is the program that contains all information about computer start. How is the computer going to communicate with the hardware? All that information is stored in is all this information is done by the BIOS program. The full form of it is Basic Input Output System. Computer hardware consists of computer table, monitor and CPU, software and Google. So computer hardware are those computer devices that can be touched. Okay. So you can touch a mouse or a monitor or a CPU, but you cannot touch a software because software are programs that you cannot touch. Google, it is a website, that is also not a computer hardware. And computer table, so this is not a computer hardware. You cannot say computer table is a hardware or computer cover is a hardware. That will not come in hardware. Okay, computer hardware are those devices which can be touched. For example, keyboard, mouse. One is labeled as assertion and the other is the reason. Assertion says nowadays many online courses are available and their popularity is increasing. Reason is selecting a right course from many such is a big challenge. So here this is true. Online courses that are available are continuously increasing, but the reason is not right. The reason should be why these are online courses are increasing or their popularity is increasing. So individually, this statement is correct that choosing a right course is very difficult because there are so many options, but it is not the correct explanation of assertion. So here the right answer is option A. AF system is used in which number system? So binary number system, it consists of zeros and ones. So the base to binary number system is 2. For octal, the base is 8. So there you have numbers from 0 to 7. Okay, hexadecimal is the number system which has 16 as the base. Okay, so 16 is the base where you have numbers from 0 to 9 and then you have letters from A to F. So total there are 16, 10 numerals and 6 alphabets. That is why the base is 16. Decimal is between 0 and 9 and the base is 10. So the number system that has A and F, you can see clearly from the screen, is option C. The following storage devices: hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM. Now arrange this in ascending order of storage capacity. Ascending order means smaller to bigger. So the least, or which storage device that has least capacity, is CD-ROM, then is DVD, and the highest capacity is hard disk. So the answer is 2, 3 and 1. Option A is the right answer. Okay, A is the right answer here. Which of the following is not suitable in the context of email? The question says which is not suitable. So it is a letter sent over a computer network. Yes, this is true. It is used to send unsolicited messages. Yes, this is true. For students who do not know the meaning of unsolicited, it means that it unsolicited means unchaha, that is not wanted. So there are so many advertisements that you get on your email, if you might have seen, so that are called unsolicited messages. Email address include a domain name like .com or .edu. All these are domain name, or which is added at the end of the email address. So which statement that is not true is email is a snail mail. So option C is incorrect. Next question. A virus type that is capable of shifting from one computer to another without user interaction is known as a worm. So here, by chance, if the option would have been virus, at that time also you would not have selected virus, because virus requires human activation. If there is a software or a file, you will have to open it, only then virus will come. But worm are a kind of malware who do not require human interaction. Without interaction also, it has the power to go from one computer to the other and infecting all the computers. A confidential file needs to be deleted from a workstation. What is the most effective way to ensure it? So there is a confidential file. Confidential file means a secret file which you want to delete. If you rename the file, that is also not a good option, because anyways it is going to be there in the computer. Compress the file and backup. Oh, backup means you are keeping it safe on the tape. So that is also a not a good option. Copy and paste the file into the recycle bin and empty the recycle bin. So if you copy and paste it, there will be a original file already present, even if you empty the recycle bin. But if you drag the file into the recycle bin and then delete it, then the file will be deleted permanently. So D is the most effective way, or the best way to delete a confidential file. In a computer related activities, what is the full form of worm? So worm means write once and read many. So there are many examples of a worm, like CD read write. It means, so read write once, read many. It means there are certain type of storage devices which are written once, but they can be read many times. You remember we used to, in like 10-12 years ago, we used to bring CDs to watch movies. At that time, that those kind of CDs that were written once, only once data was written on it, but it could be run many times, because the manufacturer used to put a film on that CD, but you had the opportunity to read it as many times as you want to read it. Okay, so that is the full form of a worm. Do not confuse it with malware. That is a different thing. Here, worm means write once and read many. Okay. So in computer related activities, which of the following is inappropriate for describing a language translator? So in one of the question we talked about interpreter, that is a language translator. Assembler is also a language translator. It is used to translate assembly language, and compiler is used to translate high level languages, and so is interpreter. But codec is not a kind of language translator. Okay, so interpreter translates your program in statement by statement, while compiler does it in one go, and assembler is also a kind of language translator. A very important question: which of the following is the most suitable for being designed as fourth generation language? So the fourth generation language is Java. So here the right answer is option B. Okay. Assertion and reason question again. So assertion says sniffing may be used to steal data or information over a network. Yes, sniffing, it is a term which is used to describe the data packets that are going to a network to read or to get data from those packets. That is known as sniffing. Reason is sniffing is a process of monitoring and capturing all data packets passing through the given network. Yes, this is also true. So in this question, the right answer is option B, because both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of assertion. You might have also heard of the term phishing. Phishing is also a computer term which is important. It means deliberately there are sites which want you to write your personal information so that they can misuse it. So that is phishing. But sniffing is some data is going on over the network, and to steal those data. That is called sniffing. So select the options that allow only optical storage media. So in this question, optical storage media, if you look at this, is the right answer is DVD, digital versatile disc, CDR, CDR means CD recordable, Blu-ray disc, and CD read write. So optical storage media means it uses light to write data on it. So USB, it is not optical storage media. So here this is incorrect. Here in this question also. So here this statement is also incorrect. Here hard disk is there. That is why this option is incorrect. Okay. Next question. This is a match the following question. Students, I would like to tell you that these days match the following has been asked extensively. So study these for your examination. It is very important. Blogging. So blogging is a kind of a social media. A3. Okay. Then television. Television is a kind of electronic media. Periodicals is a kind of a print media, while collection of site is World Wide Web. So the answer is 3124. 3124. D is the right answer. One more information. This is a question from communication unit. But you see, all the units are connected as well. This question is a very good question because they have asked you communication unit as well as ICT in one single question. A beautiful question. Blogging is a kind of social media because you write blogs and people are able to read it, share it. Television is an electronic media, periodical is print media, while collection of sites is World Wide Web. That is www. One more question is match the following question. So here the options are 50 into decimal, 102 in decimal, real-time video conferencing, SMS, texting. So before solving it, let's see first we will solve this, maybe we'll get the answer. Real-time video conferencing is synchronous communication. Yes, because synchronous communication is when those people, those are communicating, they are present at the same time. But in asynchronous, they are present in different time. SMS texting is a kind of asynchronous media. Also, Email is an example of asynchronous media. So now the options that are left, so the answer should be C should be 3 and D should be 4. C 3 and D 4. So here you see this has C 3 and D 4. So that means now you will have to solve one of these to get the answer. Okay, because two options has this same. So when you will solve these, what is the decimal? 15 decimal is how much in binary. Let's solve, as I already told you in one of the question, how to solve decimal to binary. Divide 2 by 50, write the question 25, the remainder will be 0. Again, divide 25 by 2, the remainder will be 12. Quotient will be 12 and remainder 1. 2 6 are 12, remainder 0. 2 3s are 6, remainder 0. 2 1s are 2 and remains a 0. So the answer is, okay, just a second. 2 25, 2 12, 2 6 0, 2 3s are 6, remainder 0, 2 1s are 2, remainder 0. So actually remainder will be 1. Okay, 2 1s are 2 and remainder will be 1. So here the as I told you, the answer should be written in the reverse order, 1 1 0 0 1 0. Okay, so let's see which is the answer. 1 1 0 0 1 0. So 15 decimal is this much in binary. So A should be 1, A1. So here the answer should be C, because A is 1 and B is 2. For your information, I'll just solve 102 also. How to solve 102? Divided by 2, the remainder will be 51 and the remainder will be 0. 225, remainder 1. 212, remainder 1. 26, remainder 0. 2 3, remainder 0. 2 1, remainder 1. So here it will be 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0. So the answer is 102 is this much in binary. Okay. Now you will be able to convert decimal to binary, very simple. Okay. Next question. Assertion says blog is a form of social media. Yes, this is true. A blog allows anyone to communicate to a public audience. Yes, this is also true. So, in this question, both are correct. Assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So, B is the right answer. Next question. Again, assertion and reason. IT is fast becoming a very important field of activity in India. Yes, this is true. You know, there are so many companies in India, IT companies, TCS, Infosys, Wipro. There are like thousands of IT companies. Software, the reason says software is one of the major export of India, and further India has strong base in hardware. No, the reason is incorrect, because we are usually better at providing services to other companies. So there are less number of product based companies as service based companies. So we are not exporting software, and India does not have a very good base with hardware. So reason is incorrect in this question. Only assertion is true. A is true and R is false. Okay. Right answer is D. Which of the following is major issue arising out of growing reliance on information technology? Yes, security threats are increasing. There is cyber attacks also. Now there are hackers who are able to get money from your bank account. So security threat is there. Also, there are privacy concern. There are people who can misuse your photos that we put on social media. So privacy concern is there, but there is nothing related. Profitability issue is not there with IT. So here in this question, the major issue is only B and C. Again, match the following question. So there is list 1 and list 2. VoIP. VoIP stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. So it is used for making calls over the internet. So VoIP, if you match, this will be second. Fiber optic cable. So optic means light. First option says make use of light pulse to transmit data. So here first option is correct for this. URL. URL is text used by web browsers. Yes, you might have seen http:/google.com, that is URL. So that is text used by web browsers. And UTP cable. UTP stands for unshielded twisted pair cable. It is used as a form of LAN, extensively in the form of LAN, that is used for connecting small buildings. So here the answer should be 2143. Let's see, 2143. B is the right answer over here. Select the option that include file formats suitable for distributing sound files across the internet. So for transferring sound files, we have different file formats. We have already discussed image, video, audios, and text or program files. But for sound files, we use option D. WMV is Windows Media Video. It is a video file. While WMA, it is a Windows Media Audio. It is a audio file. AVI is also a audio video interleaved. MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. WAVE stands for audio file. WAVE is a kind of audio file format. So here MP3, it is one of the most famous audio file formats. So the right answer is option D. Which of the following communication technologies employ only asynchronous communication? Video conferencing, email, forums, instant messaging. So asynchronous communication means people who are communicating are present at different space and time. So here the answer is email and forums, B and C, because video conferencing is synchronous communication and instant messaging is also a kind of synchronous communication. Okay, so if they talk about asynchronous communication, email is a kind of asynchronous, and forums are asynchronous communication. Okay. In a computer, a byte consists of 1 byte is equals to 8 bits and 1 nibble is equals to 4 bits. Which of the following is a type of virus? So internet worm is a type of virus. It does not require human interaction for spreading from one computer to the other. MOOC, it stands for Massive Open Online Course. So it is a platform where online courses are available for everyone for free. Which of the following is not a search engine? So search engine is a kind of service that allows you to search documents on the World Wide Web. So Chrome is not a search engine because Chrome is a web browser. While the question asks about search engine, Google is a search engine, Yahoo is a search engine, and Bing is also a kind of search engine. Chrome is a web browser. So web browsers are programs that helps you to access the internet. Which of the following represents 1 billion characters? So if the question asks about 1 million characters, students, remember it is going to be megabyte. If it asks about 1 billion characters, it is going to be gigabyte. And if the question asks about 1 trillion character, it is terabyte. So remember M for million, T for trillion, but this you will have to remember. 1 GB or 1 gigabyte is equals to 1 billion characters. C is the right answer. Which of the following is not an open source software? So open source softwares are those softwares which under a particular license they are given to a person, and then they have the power to make changes to it, make modifications, and they can also distribute it to the others. So those are open source, which according to a particular license, they have the power to change or modify the software and then distribute it. Internet Explorer is a closed source software by Microsoft. Okay, while Linux, OpenOffice, and Apache Server, all these are open source softwares. 1 terabyte is equals to how many gigabytes? So the relation between TB and GB is 1000. Only when 1000 gigabyte will come together, it will form 1 TB, terabyte. Given below are two statements. Search engines are known as web browsers. This 189.352.250.2 is a valid IP address. So you have to tell if both statements are true or if one or both are false. So in this question, both of the statements are false, because search engine are not web browsers. In one of the questions recently we saw, search engine is a particular service that help you to access the world wide web, while web browsers, they are applications. So both are not the same thing, because Google Chrome is an example of web browser and Google is a kind of a search engine. If you look at the second statement, why am I saying that this is a false statement? Because whenever you see IP address, all these numbers, they have to be in the range from 0 to 255. Okay, so it cannot be more than 255. If it is more than 255, that IP address is invalid. So because all the numbers should be in the range of 1 to 255, one digit is wrong, that is why this IP address is invalid. So both statements are false. Again, a match the following question has come. A very nice question to test your knowledge. See, in this question, it says RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. So it holds the computer programs currently being used in the computer. So A, you will have to match it with 4. DVD-ROM is digital versatile disk read only memory. So it can be written only once because it is read only memory. It is going to be 3. ALU. ALU means arithmetic logic unit. So it is used for computation and comparison. So the option will be second. CPU is the brain of the computer. So the answer is going to be 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's match 4, 3, 2, 1. A is the right answer to this question. Okay. In an internet world, computers are identified by IP address. IP means Internet Protocol Address. So there are certain rules for a IP address. There should be 4 digits separated by dots, and the number should be, all the digits should be in the range of 0 to 255. There are certain numbers that are reserved, but in simple terms, I would like to tell you IP addresses are used to identify a web resource. No, any computer. IP address are used to identify computers or networking devices on the internet. Which of the following is a programming language? So programming language is Java. Java is one of the programming languages. Programming languages are used to write code, and for the conversion of this language or this source code, you use language translator. So language translator could be a compiler or interpreter. Again, I match the following question. www, it stands for World Wide Web. Python is a kind of a programming language. RAM stands for Random Access Memory and it is a volatile memory, while ROM is a non-volatile memory. So the answer should be 3412. 3412. D should be the right answer. Which description is appropriate among the following for e-governance? So e-governance, when the governance is done through the use of internet, it is called e-governance. The best description is option A, to engage, enable and empower the citizens, is the right answer. Dash represents raw facts, whereas dash is processed meaningful data. So raw facts is known as data, and when that data is processed, it is known as information. So the right answer is B. First blank should be data and the other blank should contain information. Which of the following storage devices store maximum amount of data? Floppy disk, compact disk, hard disk, or magnetic optic disk? So here the answer is option C, hard disk. Nowadays we have hard disk in the range of terabytes. It can have data till more than terabyte. Okay, so this is the final question. I request you to write your scores in the comment section. Also, let us know if you like this video or not. If you like it, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, and do subscribe our channel so that you never miss an update from our channel. So we'll meet tomorrow. The second video of this mock test will be uploaded tomorrow at 8 a.m. Do watch it and let us know how you like it.
माइक्रो टीचिंग किस क्लास के लिए यूजफुल होता है? एंड ऑप्शंस आर प्राइमरी क्लासेस ओनली, जूनियर क्लासेस ओनली, 10th एंड 12th क्लासेस ओनली, बोथ फॉर प्राइमरी एंड हायर क्लासेस. इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर डी, बोथ फॉर प्राइमरी एंड हायर क्लासेस. Here is the explanation for the same. Micro teaching is a teacher training and faculty development technique whereby a teacher review a recording of teaching session in order to get constructive feedback from peers and students about what the work and what improvement can be made to their teaching technique. Armstrong was the main exponent of, and options are problem solving method, project method, discussion method, heuristic method. The correct answer for this question is option number D, heuristic method. In the heuristic method, students is put on the place of independent discover. Thus, no help or guidance is provided by the teacher in this method. In this method, the teacher set the problem to students and then stand aside while they discover the answer. कौन सी मेथड में मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट्स का पार्टिसिपेशन पॉसिबल है? एंड ऑप्शंस आर लेक्चर मेथड, डिस्कशन, टेक्स्ट बुक मेथड, ऑडियो विजुअल एड. द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी, डिस्कशन मेथड. हियर इज द explanation for the same. Discussion method are the variety of forum for the open-ended collaborative exchange of idea among the teacher and students or among the students for the purpose of furthering students' thinking, learning, problem solving, understanding or literacy appreciation. Which of the following combines scope of large group, small group or individualized teaching method? And options are group discussion, differentiated instruction, brainstorming and none of the above. The correct answer of this question is option number B, differentiated instruction. Differentiation means tailoring instruction to meet individual needs. Whether teacher differentiate content, process, product or the learning environment, the use of ongoing assessment and flexible grouping makes this successful approach to instruction. Use of telecast material facilitates, and options are better concentration and learning to reach large number of people, better retention of topics taught, all of the above. The correct answer is option number D, all of the above. Here is the explanation for the same. The message that is transmitted by radio or television is called telecast material. Film clip, a strip of motion picture film used in the telecast. Symposium किसका टाइप है? And options are discovery method, discussion method, lecture method, demonstration method. इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, डिस्कशन मेथड. Symposium is a discussion method in which different viewpoints on a single aspect of topic is discussed. Education technology क्यों useful है? And options are: it is the need of the hours, it is adopted by famous institution, it makes teaching effective and efficient, it attracts students towards teaching and learning activity. इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर सी, इट मेक टीचिंग इफेक्टिव एंड एफिशिएंट. Educational technology is a systematic application of relevant technological process and resources in teaching with a goal to improve students' performance. If majority of students in your class are weak, you should, and options are: not care about the intelligent students, keep your speed of teaching fast so that students' comprehension level may increase, keep your teaching slow along with some extra guidance to bright pupils. The correct answer of this question is option number D. If majority of students in your class are weak, you should keep your teaching slow along with some extra guidance to bright pupils. If majority of students are weak in the class, then the teacher should teach in an unrushed manner for a weak students. Also, he can also give extra information to bright students so that they won't lose interest. A teacher who is not able to draw attention of his student should, and options are: evaluate his teaching method and improve it, resign from the post, find fault in his pupils, start dictating. The correct answer is evaluate his teaching method and improve it. Here is the explanation for the same. If a teacher is unable to draw attention of students, he should evaluate his method and should improve his teaching skill. Also, he should try different way to explain if the student is unable to understand any concept. If remarks are passed by the students on you, as a teacher, you will, and options are: punish them, expel them from the college, take revenge while evaluating internal test copies, be impartial at the time of evaluation. The correct answer of this question is option number D, be impartial at the time of evaluation. A good teacher will always be impartial at the time of performance evaluation, even if the remarks are passed on him or her. The intellectual skills are reflected by, and options are: cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain, and none of the above. The intellectual skills are affected by cognitive domain. The cognitive domain is related to the development of intellectual capability, that is thinking and knowledge. It is the core learning domain. The other domains, that is affective and psychomotor, require at least some cognitive component. It functions at 6 levels: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthetic, and evaluation. Which of the following statement is not true? And options are: teaching is just an art, teachers can be trained only, teachers are born, and all of the above. The correct answer for this question is option number D, all of the above. Here is the explanation for the same. Teaching is both art and science. It is a science in that there are strategies and practices that a body of research has shown to be effective in enhancing learning. It is an art in that teacher must bring themselves fully into their teaching hands. Option 1 is incorrect. Option 2 is incorrect because teacher cannot be trained only. Option 3 is incorrect because teachers are not just born. They need training to be good teacher. Nobody is perfect. Teacher also learn and practice while teaching. Teachers can learn through their mistakes and feedbacks. At which of the following teaching level classroom environment is required to be sufficiently open and independent? And options are: memory level, understanding level, reflective level, and all of the above. The correct answer of this question is option number C, reflective level. Classroom environment is to be sufficiently open and independent in reflective level. The learner are motivated and active. The aim is to develop the reflective power for learner so that they can solve the problem of their life by reasoning, logic, and imagination and lead successfully and happy life. The rules for presenting the content to make them easy are called, and options are method of teaching, maxims of teaching, technique of teaching, teaching strategies. The correct answer of this question is option number B, maxims of teaching. The rules used by the teacher in the process of teaching are called as maxims of teaching. इसमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन करेक्ट नहीं है? And options are: a good communicator cannot be a good teacher. A good communicator has good sense of humor. A good communicator has wide reading knowledge. A good communicator has command over language. The correct answer of this question is option number A. A good communicator cannot be a good teacher. Here is the explanation for the same. A good communicator cannot be a good teacher. This statement is false because a good communicator has a high chance of being good teacher as he or she will be able to explain subject well to be purpose. Hence option A is the right answer. इसमें से कौन सी टीचर के सामने बहुत important challenge है? And options are: to maintain discipline in the class, to make students to do their homework, to prepare question paper, to make teaching learning process enjoyable. The correct answer of this question is option number D. The most important challenge before a teacher is to make teaching learning process enjoyable. Listening to the lecture is basically, and options are informational listening, evaluative listening, emphatic listening, and dynamic listening. The correct answer of this question is option number B, evaluative listening. Evaluative listening or critical listening, in this type the listener evaluates the accuracy, meaningfulness and utility of speaker message. प्राइमरी लेवल में मातृभाषा में सिखाना बहुत अच्छा होता है. क्यों? एंड ऑप्शंस आर: it develops self confidence in children, it makes learning easy, it is help in intellectual development, it helps children to learn in natural atmosphere. The correct answer of this question is option number D, it helps children to learn in natural atmosphere. Here is the explanation for the same. At the primary level, it is better to teach in mother language because it helps the children in learning in a natural atmosphere. Research indicated that having a strong mother tongue foundation leads to much better understanding for the curriculum as well as a more positive attitude towards school. So, it's vital that the children maintain their first language when they begin schooling in the different language. Which theory of learning has found that knowledge of internal process is crucial to the understanding of learning? And options are cognitive theory, stimulus response theory, operant conditioning theory, classical conditioning theory. The correct answer of this question is option number A, cognitive theory. Cognitive learning theory explains how internal and external factors influence an individual mental process to supplement learning. Delay and difficulty in learning are seen when the cognitive processes are not working regularly. These processes are such as attention, observation, retrieval from long-term memory and categorization. The best remedy of the student's problem related with learning is, and options are suggestion for hard work, supervised study in library, suggestion for private tuition, diagnostic teaching. The best remedy of the student's problem related with learning is diagnostic teaching. Diagnostic teaching refers to the process that enables students to detect, understand and correct misconception in their work. This type of teaching involves a constant interplay between assessment and instruction to evaluate learning ability and teaching effectiveness respectively. The blackboard can be utilized best by the teacher for, and options are putting the matter of teaching in black and white, make the students attentive, writing the important and notable points, highlighting the teacher himself. The blackboard can be utilized best by the teacher for writing the important and notable points. Here is the explanation for the same. Blackboard is an important tool used by the teacher. Its use should be frequently made for drawing necessary sketch and diagram. The blackboard summary should be written in neat, clean and legible way. For a teacher teaching a class with a large strength, which of the technique is best? Options are debate, discussion and practicals, group work with lecture, lecture and class notes, self-study and asking question. The correct answer for this question is option number C, lecture and class notes. Some advantages of lecture include greater teacher control in the classroom and facilitate large class communication. The main objective of students' evaluation of teachers are to gather information about student weakness, to make teacher take teaching seriously, to help teacher adopt innovative method of teaching, to identify the area of further improvement in teaching trait, identify the correct answer from the code given below. The correct answer of this question is option number B, that is to make teachers take decisions seriously, to help teacher adopt innovative method of teaching, to identify the area for further improvement in teaching traits. Evaluation is systematic determination of the subject merit, worth and significance using criteria governed by set of standards. What is the use of textbook in the class? And options are to achieve learning objective, to demeld what is to be taught, to explain idea and concept, set new standards. The correct answer of this question is option number A, to achieve learning objectives. Learning objective put the focus on the students and learning. Which set of learner characteristics may be considered helpful in designing effective teaching learning system? Select the correct alternative for the code given below. Prior experience of learner in respect of subject, interpersonal relationship of learning family friends, ability of learner in respect of subject, students language background, interest of students in following prescribed dress code, motivational orientation of the students. The correct answer of this question is option number B. Summative evaluation is used for which of the following purpose? To monitor students' progress during the learning process, primarily to certify or grade students, to find out what a student's interests and work habits are, to assign students to specific learning groups. The correct answer is primarily to certify or grade students. Here is the explanation for the same. Summative evaluation or assessment of learning refer to the assessment of participant where the focus is on outcome of the program. If learning to know is the aim of education, then students should be, and options are provided with latest global knowledge, taught with the help of latest technology, both A and B and none of the above. If learning to know is aim of education, then students should be provided with latest global knowledge. The time-bound testing program for the students should be implemented in school so that, and options are, the progress of the student should be informed to their parent, a regular practice can be carried out, the students can be trained for the final examination, the remedial program can be adopted on the basis of the explanation for the result. The correct answer of this question is option number D. The remedial program can be adopted on the basis of explanation for the result. Essay type tests are not reliable because, and options are, their answers are different, their results are different, their checking is affected by examiner's mood, their responding style are different. Essay type tests are not reliable because their checking is affected by examiner mood. A student who seeks meaning and reasoning for what she or he learns can be classified as, and options are innovative learner, common sense learner, dynamic learner, analytic learner. The correct answer is analytic learner. Here is the explanation for the same. Analytical learners love logic, puzzles, and uncovering how their world works. These learners sometimes drive their parent and teacher crazy by asking why all the time. They love being presented with new problems and working through them in a systematic way. Analytical learners tend to do best when the information is presented in an orderly, step-by-step fashion. They prefer to focus on learning the small detail first and then move on the make sense of whole concept. Analytical learners usually have long attention span and work best by themselves, which allow them to focus on single problem until it is solved to there. स्वयंप्रभा में कितने चैनल्स हैं? And options are 32, 30, 34 and 33. The correct answer is option number C, 34. The Swayamprabha is a group of 34 DTH channels devoted to telecasting of high quality educational program on 24/7 basis using the GSAT 15 satellite. Every day there will be new content for at least 4 hours, which will be repeated 5 more times in a day, allowing the students to choose time of their convenience. Which of the following is an example of intervening variable? And options are an instructional material, teacher, students and administration. The correct answer is an instructional material. Teaching method, teaching aids and motivational technique which also facilitate the teaching learning process are termed as intervening variables. Which of the following statement is false? And options are teaching and instruction are the same concept. There is a difference between teaching and learning. Education is wider term than teaching, training, research, etc. And all of the above are true. Teaching and instruction are the same concept. This statement is the wrong. The subtle difference between teach and instruct is that you can teach almost everything. Concept, idea, theory or say history. When you instruct someone, you are giving them a set of tools or tasks to do something specific. Which domain is concerned with physical and motor skill? And options are cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain and none of the above. Psychomotor domain is concerned with physical and motor skill. The psychomotor domain includes physical movement, coordination and use of motor skill area. Development of this skill requires practice and is measured in terms of speed, distance, procedure or technique in execution. Which of the following practice belongs to the method of diagnostic evaluation? And options are the teacher conduct evaluation in the beginning of teaching learning process. The teacher conduct evaluation at the end of teaching learning process. An end semester examination, an internal assessment test. The correct answer is option number A. The teacher conduct evaluation in the beginning of teaching learning process. The formative evaluation determines the extent to which the student accomplished the learning target. Therefore, it focuses on the measurement of intended outcomes. The diagnostic evaluation goes a step further and tries to provide an explanation for the possible cause for problem in learning. Diagnostic tests are thus more comprehensive and detailed. Which of the following is or are true of whole group instruction? And options are permit students to progress at their own, convenient of teaching the same skill or content to the entire class, give a teacher chance to introduce new skill at the level of suited to particular students, and all of the above. The correct answer of this question is option number B, convenient for teaching the same skill or content to the entire class. An effective teaching aid is a one which, and options are, it's colorful and good looking, activate to all the faculties, is visible to all the students, easy to prepare and use. The correct answer of this question is option number B. An effective teaching aid is a one which activate all the faculties. With the smaller class, teachers are much more able to identify the learning problems, provide individual attention, adapt instruction to individual difference among students, and all of the above. The correct answer is option number D, all of the above. Use of telecast material and options are enhance concentration and learning, reduce the burden of teacher, increase retention power, and all of the above. The correct answer of this question is option number A, enhance concentration and learning. The use of telecast material enhance concentration and learning as visual are better written in memory than written words. An effective teaching is next step, and options are a teacher teach with enthusiasm, a teacher find fault in students, a teacher put emphasis more on teaching than on class control, a teacher is interested in making the subject better understood rather than on completing course. The correct answer of this question is option number B, a teacher find fault in his students. An effective teacher will not try to find fault in his students. He will teach with enthusiasm. He put more emphasis on teaching, and he also interested in making the subject better understood by the students. Which option best describe factor affecting teaching related to the learner? And options are age and maturity of the learner, attention and interest of the learner, knowledge about teaching method of the learner, previous teaching experience of the learner, extrovert nature of the learner. The correct answer of this question is option number A. Knowledge about teaching method is an area of knowledge of the teacher. So learner may or may not have knowledge of the same. Nature of the learner being only extrovert have nothing much more to do so to affect teaching. He or she can be introvert, rest of the factor affect teaching. The teacher in the class want to choose such a style of teaching which result in the learner optimal participation, and the teacher also not losing the control over his or her class. Which among the following will be most suitable? And options are learner center, student center, blended style, and none of these. The correct answer is blended style. Teacher center will ensure control of the teacher over the class. Learner center will ensure that the opinion of the students are taken care of and they are require autonomy. And a balance between both will lead to using the blended style for the given circumstances. From the given assertion and reason, choose the correct option from the below. Assertion: new age learning is totally dependent on learner-centered learning approach. Reason: learners nowadays demand more autonomy in teaching approaches and want their opinion to be counted accordingly in the process of teaching learning. And options are both A and R correct, and R is the correct explanation of the A. Both A and R correct, but R is not the correct explanation of the A. A is the correct while R is incorrect. A is incorrect while R is correct. The correct answer for this question is option number D. A is incorrect while R is correct. Now is the time of blended learning approach involving both the teacher as well as the students, or a learner-centered approaches. Learner center, learner actively concentrate their own knowledge. Teacher center, students are viewed as empty vessels who passively receive knowledge from their teacher. Consider the following statement in a context of teaching and identify and write the code from the below. Assertion and reason. Assertion: learner characteristic differences can be found by closely monitoring the overall personality of the learner. Reason: so the first task of every teacher in a class should be know and study individual differences among his pupils. And options are both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of the A. Both the A and R are true but R is not a correct explanation of the A. A is the correct but R is incorrect. A is the incorrect but R is the correct. The correct answer of this question is option number A. Both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of the A. Individual differences are found in all the psychological characteristics, physical, mental ability, knowledge, habit, personality and character traits. Individual differences in bodily appearance and physics, habit and skill, interest and temperament, ability and attainment have already been recognized. Which of the following factors comprise classroom environment? Physical factor, social factor, cultural factor, psychological factor, and options are both 1 and 2, both 2 and 3, both 1 and 3 and all of the above. The correct answer is option number A, both 1 and 2, that is physical factor and social factors. Classroom environment comprises of both the physical and the social factor. Physical factor, this include the infrastructure, building, laboratories, library facilities, teaching aid, cleanliness and so on. Social factors, social factor include the relationship that all the critical factor have with each other, such as relationship between the teacher and the management, students and the teacher, etc. An individual awareness of his or her own memory process and the way in which storage and retrieval of information can be enhanced is termed as, and options are semantic memory, episodic memory, procedural memory and meta memory. An individual awareness of his or her own memory process and the way in which storage and retrieval of information can be enhanced is termed as meta memory. Meta memory refers to any judgment that is made about the memory. This includes feeling of knowing judgment, judgment about the tip of tongue state, confidence judgment about memory and judgment of learning, as well as a source judgment and remember known judgments. टीचर प्लेसमेंट इवैल्यूएशन का यूज क्यों करता है? एंड ऑप्शंस आर फाइंड आउट व्हाट नॉलेज एंड स्किल्स स्टूडेंट्स हैव मास्टर्स, डिस्कवर द कॉज ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स लर्निंग और बिहेवियरल प्रॉब्लम, both A and B and none of the above. The correct answer of this question is option number A, find out what knowledge and skills students have masters. Placement evaluation means an interview and evaluation of a person with a developmental disability and review of the person's prior medical and program historic to determine the appropriate developmental disability program and service for the person. Why do teachers use teaching aid? And options are to make teaching fun-filled, to teach within the understanding level of students, for students' attention, to make students attentive. The correct answer is option number B, to teach with the understanding level of students. Teaching aid can come in almost any form. Some of the most common are pictures, videos, chat, flashcards, and objects like a three-dimensional model or educational toy. The term teaching aid is used to identify such a material as being a supplement to the basic teaching. सेकेंडरी स्कूल टेलीविजन प्रोजेक्ट इंडिया में कब आया था? एंड ऑप्शंस आर 1961, 1959, 1968 एंड 1962. इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर ए, 1961. Secondary school television project was designed for the secondary school students of Delhi with an aim to improve the standard of teaching in a view of shortage of laboratory space, equipment, and this project started on experimental basis in October 1961 for teaching of physics, chemistry, English and Hindi for the students of class 11th. What are the components of TIRE's model in curriculum? And options are aim, subject content, teaching evaluation. Second option is purpose, education, experience, effective organization of experience, organization of goal. Option C, aim of education, organization of content, testing and feedback. Option D, subject content, teaching, learning and testing. इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, पर्पस, एजुकेशन, एक्सपीरियंस, इफेक्टिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ गोल.
सेरीकल्चर का मतलब क्या होता है? ए, साइंस ऑफ द वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ सीरम. बी, आर्टिफिशियल rearing ऑफ फिश. सी, आर्ट ऑफ सिल्कवर्म ब्रीडिंग. एंड डी, स्टडी ऑफ वेरियस कल्चर ऑफ कम्युनिटी. सेरीकल्चर का मतलब क्या होता है? सेरीकल्चर का मतलब होता है आर्ट ऑफ सिल्कवर्म ब्रीडिंग. सो फ्रेंड्स, रेशम के धागे के लिए जो सिल्कवर्म ब्रीडिंग होता है उसे सेरीकल्चर कहा जाता है. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग डैम इज नॉट ऑन द नर्मदा रिवर? इनमें से कौन सा डैम नर्मदा रिवर के, नर्मदा नदी पे नहीं बसा हुआ? ए, इंदिरा सागर प्रोजेक्ट. बी, महाबलेश्वर हाइडल पावर प्रोजेक्ट. सी, जोबाक प्रोजेक्ट. एंड डी, कोयना पावर प्रोजेक्ट. द राइट आंसर इज Koina Power Project. Next question. Photosphere is described as A, lower layer of atmosphere. B, visible surface of the sun from which radiation emanates. C, wavelength of solar spectrum. D, none of the above. And the right answer is visible surface of the sun from which radiation emanates. That is called photosphere. Location of sugar industry in India is shifting from north to south because of. इंडिया में जो शुगर इंडस्ट्रीज है वो नॉर्थ से साउथ में शिफ्ट क्यों हो रही है, उसका रीज़न क्या है? ए, चीप लेबर. बी, एक्सपांडिंग रीजनल मार्केट. सी, चीप एंड अबेंडेंट सप्लाई ऑफ पावर. डी, हाई यील्ड एंड हाई शुगर कंटेंट इन शुगर केन. इसका राइट आंसर है हाई यील्ड एंड हाई शुगर कंटेंट इन शुगर केन. साउथ में जो गन्नों की खेती होती है वो गन्नों में शुगर कंटेंट ज़्यादा होता है, इसलिए शुगर फैक्ट्रीज ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडिया आर शिफ्टिंग टू साउथ इंडिया. द एरिया कवर्ड बाय फॉरेस्ट इन इंडिया इज अबाउट. इंडिया का फॉरेस्ट एरिया कितना है? ए, 46.32%. B, 33.50%. C, 21.67%. And D, 19.21%. And the right answer is 21.67%. India's oil-bearing areas are mostly associated with the A, plutonic rocks. B, volcanic rocks. C, sedimentary rocks. And D, metamorphic rocks. The right answer is sedimentary rocks. Which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? A, Kota Chambal. B, Bhubaneswar Mahanadi. C, Jabalpur Narmada. And D, Surat Tapti. इसका राइट आंसर है भुवनेश्वर महानदी. भुवनेश्वर महानदी ये पेयर गलत पेयर है. नागार्जुन सागर प्रोजेक्ट इज सिचुएटेड ऑन द रिवर. नागार्जुन प्रोजेक्ट कौन से नदी के ऊपर सिचुएटेड है? ए, तुंगभद्रा. बी, कावेरी. सी, कृष्णा. एंड डी, गोदावरी. द राइट आंसर इज कृष्णा. नागार्जुन सागर प्रोजेक्ट ये कृष्णा नदी के ऊपर सिचुएटेड है. थ्रू विच स्टेट डज कावेरी रिवर फ्लो? कावेरी नदी कौन से स्टेट से फ्लो करती है? ए, गुजरात, एमपी, तमिलनाडु. बी, कर्नाटका, केरला, तमिलनाडु. सी, कर्नाटका, केरला, आंध्र प्रदेश. एंड डी, मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, तमिलनाडु. इसका राइट आंसर है कर्नाटका, केरला, तमिलनाडु. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द वर्ल्ड इज डिवाइडेड इनटू A, 12 time zones. B, 20 time zones. C, 24 time zones and D 36 time zones. The right answer is 24 time zones. World is divided into 24 time zones. Atmosphere exists because atmosphere किस कारण से exist करता है? A. The gravitational force of the earth. B. Revolution of the earth. C. Rotation of the earth. And D. Weight of the gases of atmosphere. The right answer is the gravitational force of the earth. The zone of excessively dry climate with very cold temperature throughout the year correspondent to A. Arctic deserts, B. Tundra, C. Alpine meadows and D. Antarctica. मतलब ऐसा कौन सा जोन है जो कि फुल ईयर ड्राई एंड कोल्ड टेम्परेचर में रहता है? द राइट आंसर इज आर्कटिक डेजर्ट्स. Laterite soil develop as the result of A. Deposits of alluvial, B. Deposition of loess, C. Leaching and D. Continued vegetation cover. The right answer is leaching. Which of the following river is not a tributary of the Indus? इनमें से कौन सी नदी इंडस नदी की ट्रिब्यूटरी नहीं है? A. सतलज, B. झेलम, C. भागीरथी and D. चेनाब. The right answer is भागीरथी. Next question. Tides in the ocean are caused by A. Gravitational pull of the moon on the earth's surface including sea water. चांद के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के कारण ओशन के टाइड्स आते हैं. B. Gravitational pull of sun on the earth's surface only and not on the sea water. मतलब सन के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के कारण ओशन के टाइड्स आते हैं. C. Gravitational pull of the moon and sun on the earth's surface including the sea water. या फिर सूरज एंड चांद के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के कारण ओशन में टाइड्स आते हैं. या फिर D. None of these. The right answer is C. Next question. Which of the following statement is not true about the availability of water on the earth, the crisis for which is going to increase in the year to come? इसका मतलब है कि इनमें से कौन सा स्टेटमेंट दोहराता है कि पृथ्वी पर कितने मात्रा में पानी है और आने वाले साल में उसका क्राइसिस बढ़ने वाला है. A. About 97.5% of the total volume of water available on the earth is salty. 97.5% of water ये नमकीन है. B. 80% of water available to us for use comes in burst as monsoon. 80% water ये हमें बारिश की वजह से मिलता है. About 2.5% of the total water available on the earth is polluted water and cannot be used for human activities. 2.5% जो अवेलेबल वाटर है वो पोल्यूटेड वाटर है जो कि ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन के लिए अच्छा नहीं है. या फिर D. Possibility is that some big glaciers will melt in the coming 10-15 years and sea level will rise by 3.5 meters all over the earth. या फिर ऐसी भी पॉसिबिलिटी होती है जो अपने ग्लेशियर्स है, बर्फ़ है, वो मेल्ट होके उसका 10 to 15 ईयर्स के बाद सी लेवल का पानी बढ़ जाएगा 3.3 या फिर 4 मीटर तक. ये कारण हो सकता है. एंड द राइट आंसर इज डी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. डिफरेंट सीजन्स आर फॉर्म्ड बिकॉज अलग अलग जो सीजन्स होते हैं वो किस वजह से फॉर्म हुए हैं? ए. सन इज मूविंग अराउंड द अर्थ, सूरज पृथ्वी के अराउंड मूव करता है. या फिर बिकॉज ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन ऑफ द अर्थ अराउंड द सन ऑन इट्स ऑर्बिट. या फिर सी. बिकॉज ऑफ रोटेशन ऑफ द अर्थ अराउंड इट्स एक्सिस. या फिर डी. बिकॉज ऑफ अर्थ इट इज टिल्टेड व्हेन इट रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड द सन. या फिर डी. ये हो सकता है कि जो अपनी पृथ्वी है वो टिल्टेड है और वो सन के अराउंड मूव करती है. इसका राइट आंसर है डी. अर्थ इज टिल्टेड, अपनी पृथ्वी टिल्टेड है और वो सन के अराउंड मूव करती है, इसीलिए सीजन्स आर फॉर्म्ड. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द नेचुरल वेजिटेशन ऑफ सावना कंसिस्ट ऑफ. जो सावना नाम का नेचुरल वेजिटेशन है वो क्या है? ए. टॉल ग्रास, बी स्क्रब जंगल, सी शॉर्ट ग्रास या फिर डी ट्रीज। द राइट आंसर इज टॉल ग्रास। लंबी लंबी जो ग्रास होती है वो सावन्ना का प्रकार है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द मच डिस्कस्ड तेहरी डैम प्रोजेक्ट इज लोकेटेड इन विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेट। तेहरी डैम प्रोजेक्ट ये कौन से स्टेट में बसा हुआ है? ए एमपी मध्य प्रदेश, बी राजस्थान, सी हरियाणा या फिर डी उत्तरांचल। द राइट आंसर इज उत्तरांचल। तेहरी डैम प्रोजेक्ट ये उत्तरांचल स्टेट में बसा हुआ है। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द बिगेस्ट फ्रेश वाटर लेक इन इंडिया। इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा फ्रेश वाटर लेक कौन सा है? ए दाल लेक, बी सुखना लेक, सी लोकतक लेक एंड डी वुलार लेक। तो इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा फ्रेश वाटर लेक वुलार लेक से जाना जाता है। द बिगेस्ट रिजर्व्स ऑफ थेरम आर इन। थेरम का सबसे बड़ा रिजर्व कहाँ पे है? ए इंडिया, बी चाइना, सी द सोवियत यूनियन एंड डी यूएसए। द राइट आंसर इज इंडिया। द टर्म रेगर रेफर्स टू। रेगर का मतलब क्या होता है? ए लेटराइट सॉइल्स, बी ब्लैक कॉटन सॉइल्स, सी रेड सॉइल्स या फिर डी डेल्टाइक एलुवियल सॉइल्स। इसका राइट आंसर है ब्लैक कॉटन सॉइल्स। ब्लैक कॉटन सॉइल्स को ही रेगर नाम से जाना जाता है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, वेयर आर मोस्ट ऑफ द अर्थ एक्टिव वोल्केनोज कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड। पृथ्वी पे सबसे ज्यादा एक्टिव वोल्केनोज कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड कहाँ पे है? ए यूरोप, बी पैसिफिक ओशन, सी अफ्रीका एंड डी साउथ अमेरिका। इसका राइट आंसर है पैसिफिक ओशन। पैसिफिक ओशन में पृथ्वी पे सबसे ज्यादा एक्टिव वोल्केनोज कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड है। द फर्टिलिटी ऑफ द सॉइल कैन बी इंक्रीज्ड बाय ग्रोइंग। जो मिट्टी की फर्टिलिटी होती है वो किस तरह से बढ़ाई जा सकती है? ए सीरियल्स, बी फाइबर क्रॉप्स, सी लेग्यूम्स या फिर डी रूट क्रॉप्स। इसका राइट आंसर है लेग्यूम्स। लेग्यूम्स से सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी बढ़ाई जा सकती है। द कूलेस्ट प्लेस ऑन द अर्थ इज। पृथ्वी पे सबसे ठंडा जगह कहाँ पे है? ए हैलिफैक्स, बी शिकागो, सी सियाचिन एंड डी वर्खोयांस्क जो कि अंटार्कटिका में है। द राइट आंसर इज वर्खोयांस। वर्खोयांस ये रशिया के खंड में पाया जाता है और ये पृथ्वी का सबसे ठंडा जगह माना जाता है। Which of the following pairs of the river dam project and the state in which it is located is not correct? इनमें से कौन सा रिवर डैम प्रोजेक्ट और उसका स्टेट रॉन्ग है? ए गांधीनगर मध्य प्रदेश, बी तुंगभद्रा तमिलनाडु, सी भाखरा नंगल एंड पंजाब, डी हीराकुड ओडिशा। द राइट आंसर इज तुंगभद्रा तमिलनाडु। दिस पेयर इज रॉन्ग पेयर। When does the moon come between the sun and the earth? मून सन और अर्थ के बीच में कब आता है? कौन से पीरियड में आता है? ए लूनार एक्लिप्स, बी सोलार एक्लिप्स, सी साइड रियल डे एंड डी फुल मून डे। द राइट आंसर इज सोलार एक्लिप्स। सोलार एक्लिप्स के दौरान मून सन एंड अर्थ के बीच में आता है। टर्पेंटाइन ऑयल यूज्ड इन मेडिसिन इज ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम। टर्पेंटाइन ऑयल जो कि मेडिसिन में अवेलेबल होता है वो कहाँ से ऑब्टेन किया जाता है? ए एकाशिया, बी शिरपिन, सी मायरोबैलेंस एंड डी कुसुम। द राइट आंसर इज शिरपिन। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज कोल्ड स्ट्रीम। कोल्ड स्ट्रीम किसे कहा जाता है? ए क्यूराशिया, बी लैब्राडोर, सी गल्फ ऑफ स्ट्रीम एंड डी हुकाना हटाटा। द राइट आंसर इज लैब्राडोर। लैब्राडोर को ही कोल्ड स्ट्रीम से नाम से ही जाना जाता है। सोलर इक्लिप्स टेक्स प्लेस व्हेन। सोलर इक्लिप्स कब होता है? द मून कम्स बिटवीन द सन एंड द अर्थ। जब मून सन एंड अर्थ के बीच में आता है, या फिर द अर्थ कम्स बिटवीन सन एंड द मून, या फिर पृथ्वी सन एंड मून के बीच में आ जाती है। सी द सन कम्स बिटवीन द मून एंड द अर्थ, जब सूरज पृथ्वी और मून के बीच में आ जाता है, या फिर नन ऑफ द एबो। द राइट आंसर इज द मून कम्स बिटवीन द सन एंड द अर्थ। जब मून सन एंड अर्थ के बीच में आता है तभी उसे सोलर इक्लिप्स कहा जाता है। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द स्मॉलेस्ट ओशन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड? वर्ल्ड में सबसे छोटा ओशन कहाँ पे है या फिर किसे कहा जाता है? ए पैसिफिक, बी इंडियन, सी एटलांटिक या फिर डी आर्कटिक। द राइट आंसर इज आर्कटिक। आर्कटिक ओशन ये वर्ल्ड का सबसे छोटा ओशन माना जाता है। ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट फॉर ईच ऑफ द ईयर एट ग्लोबल लेवल इज पब्लिश्ड बाय। ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट जो कि हर साल आता है ग्लोबली, वो कौन पब्लिश करता है? यूएनडीपी, डब्ल्यूटीओ, आईएमएफ या फिर वर्ल्ड बैंक। द राइट आंसर इज यूएनडीपी। यूएनडीपी ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट जो कि हर साल आता है वो ग्लोबली पब्लिश करता है। द स्लोगन अ ट्री फॉर ईच चाइल्ड वॉज कॉइन्ड फॉर।
Thank you for today's session.
A.
Hope you all are
Social
doing good.
Forestry Program. B. Clear Air Program. C. Soil Conservation Program. And D. Environmental Protection Program. The right answer is Environmental Protection Program. A tree for each child ये slogan Environmental Protection
So thank you
Program
for
के लिए
today's
coin
session.
किया
Let's
गया
meet
था।
up in next mock test series.
Which of the following is not a measure of Human Development Index? इनमें से कौन सा ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स का मेजर नहीं है? ए लिटरेसी रेट, बी ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट रेट, सी सेक्स रेशियो या फिर डी लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी। द राइट आंसर इज सेक्स रेशियो। ह्यूमन डेवलप इंडेक्स में लिटरेसी रेट, ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट एंड लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी ये इंक्लूडेड होता है, लेकिन सेक्स रेशियो इंक्लूडेड नहीं होता। मिनामाटा डिजास्टर इन जापान वॉज कॉज्ड बाय पोल्यूशन ड्यू टू। मिनामाटा डिजास्टर जो पोल्यूशन के द्वारा जापान में डिजास्टर आया था, उसका कारण क्या था? ए लीड, बी मर्क्यूरी, सी कैडमियम या फिर डी जिंक। द राइट आंसर इज मर्क्यूरी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। एट प्रेजेंट इन टर्म ऑफ पर कैपिटा एनर्जी कंजम्पशन किलोवाट पर ईयर, आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस। पर कैपिटा एनर्जी कंजम्पशन जो कि किलोवाट पर ईयर है, उसके हिसाब से हमें करेक्ट सीक्वेंस लगाना है। ए ब्राज़ील, फिर रशिया, चाइना, इंडिया। बी रशिया, फिर चाइना, इंडिया, ब्राज़ील। सी रशिया, चाइना, ब्राज़ील एंड देन इंडिया। डी चाइना, रशिया, ब्राज़ील, इंडिया। द राइट आंसर इज पहले रशिया, फिर चाइना, फिर ब्राज़ील एंड लास्ट में इंडिया। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Sustainable Development Goal have specific target to be achieved by। Sustainable Development Goal का एक year target है, वो क्या है? The right answer is 2030। 2030 ये Sustainable Development Goal का एक target है। Indian government's target for producing power from biomass by the year 2022 is। Indian government का एक target है power produce करना जो कि बायोमास के द्वारा किया करने वाले हैं बाय 2022। ये कितना है? ए 50 मेगावाट, 25 मेगावाट, 15 मेगावाट या फिर 10 मेगावाट। द राइट आंसर इज 10 मेगावाट। इंडियन गवर्नमेंट्स टारगेट फॉर पावर प्रोडक्शन फ्रॉम स्मॉल हाइड्रो प्रोजेक्ट बाय द ईयर 2022 इज। इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का पावर प्रोडक्शन का जो टारगेट है बाय हाइड्रो प्रोजेक्ट, स्मॉल हाइड्रो प्रोजेक्ट बाय 2022, ये कितना है? ए 1 गीगावाट, बी 5 गीगावाट, सी 10 गीगावाट या फिर डी 15 गीगावाट। द राइट आंसर इज 5 गीगावाट। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कॉन्फ्रेंसेस या फिर समिट्स इज ऑल्सो नोन एज यूएन कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल, UNCST। इनमें से कौन सा कॉन्फ्रेंस या फिर समिट जो कि UNCST के नाम से भी जाना जाता है? ए स्टॉकहोम कॉन्फ्रेंस 1972, बी द रियो डी जेनेरियो कॉन्फ्रेंस 1992, सी द जोहान्सबर्ग समिट 2002 या फिर डी द रियो प्लस 20 कॉन्फ्रेंस 2012। द राइट आंसर इज द रियो प्लस 20 कॉन्फ्रेंस 2012। इसको UNCSD नाम से भी जाना जाता है। The target set by Indian government for power from rooftop solar installation by the year 2022 is इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का पावर प्रोडक्शन जो कि रूफटॉप सोलर इंस्टॉलेशन है वो 2022 टारगेटेड है, वो कितना है? ए 40.0 गीगावाट, बी 50.0 गीगावाट एंड सी 60.0 गीगावाट या फिर डी 100 गीगावाट. द राइट आंसर इज 100 gigawatt. Next question. Which of the following are priority areas in relation to Sustainable Development Goal? इनमें से कौन से प्रायोरिटी एरियाज में आते हैं रिगार्डिंग सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स? नो पॉवर्टी, जीरो हंगर, रिड्यूसिंग अर्बनाइजेशन, पीस, जस्टिस एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग इंस्टीट्यूशन. ए 1 2 3, बी 1 3 4, सी 2 3 4 या फिर डी 1 2 एंड 4. द राइट आंसर इज डी 1 2 एंड 4. नो पॉवर्टी, जीरो हंगर, पीस, जस्टिस एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग इंस्टीट्यूशन ये प्रायोरिटी बेसिस पे आते हैं सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल के लिए. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स बेस्ट एक्सप्लेन्स द कंसेप्ट ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट? ए यूज ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस मिनिमली, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस का मिनिमली यूज करना. बी यूज ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस फॉर आवर बेनिफिट, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस का अपने खुद के बेनिफिट के लिए यूज करना. यूज ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस जुडिशियली सो दैट दे आर अवेलेबल फॉर फर्दर जनरेशंस, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस का इस तरह से इस्तेमाल करना जो कि आने वाली जनरेशन को भी उसका बेनिफिट मिले. या फिर डी प्रिजर्व आवर नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस फॉर आवर फ्यूचर जनरेशन, या फिर नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस को प्रिजर्व करना जो कि हमारे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को काम आ सकता है. इसका राइट आंसर है सी यूज ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज जुडिशियली सो दैट दे आर अवेलेबल फॉर फर्दर जनरेशन. आइडेंटिफाई द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल फ्रॉम द लिस्ट गिवन बिलो. सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल में क्या क्या आते हैं? जीरो हंगर, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन, यूनिवर्सल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन, क्लीन वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन, ग्रीन एग्रीकल्चर, क्लाइमेट एक्शन. सो इसमें से एक्सक्लूड कर लेते हैं पहले जो कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल में नहीं आता, वो है यूनिवर्सल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन एंड ग्रीन एग्रीकल्चर जो कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल नहीं है. तो बचता है फर्स्ट, सेकेंड, फोर्थ एंड सिक्स्थ. द राइट आंसर इज डी. Which of the following groups of electronic scientists has been given in an order chronologically? इनमें से कौन से ग्रुप्स क्रोनोलॉजिकली है जो कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक साइंटिस्ट के नाम से आते हैं? ए गुग्लिल्मो जी मार्कोनी, ल्यूमियर ब्रदर्स, ली फॉरेस्ट, जॉन फ्लेमिंग एंड जॉन लॉजीबेड. बी जॉन लेजीबेड, ल्यूमियर ब्रदर्स, गुग्लिल्मो, ली फॉरेस्ट एंड जॉन फ्लेमिंग. या फिर सी ली फॉरेस्ट, जॉन फ्लेमिंग, ल्यूमियर ब्रदर्स, गुग्लिल्मो मुरोनी एंड जॉन लोजीबेड. डी ल्यूमियर ब्रदर्स, गुग्लिल्मो, ली फॉरेस्ट, जॉन फ्लेमिंग एंड जॉन लोजीबेड. इसका राइट आंसर है डी. पहले ल्यूमियर ब्रदर्स, फिर गुग्लिल्मो जी मार्कोनी, फिर ली फॉरेस्ट, जॉन फ्लेमिंग एंड जॉन लेजी बेड. द प्लैनेट्स आर केप्ट इज मोशन इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव ऑर्बिट्स बाय द. जो प्लैनेट्स है वो मोशन करते हैं किस वजह से? ए रोटेशन ऑफ द सन ऑन इट्स एक्सिस, बी ग्रेविटेशन एंड सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्सेस, सी ग्रेट साइज एंड स्पेरिकल शेप, डी रोटेशन एंड डेंसिटी ऑफ द प्लैनेट्स. द राइट आंसर इज ग्रेविटेशनल एंड सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्सेस. इसकी वजह से प्लैनेट्स मूव करते हैं, मोशन करते हैं. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सॉइल इज वेरी हार्ड टू कल्टिवेट? इनमें से कौन सा सॉइल हार्ड होता है कल्टीवेशन के लिए? ए एलुवियल, बी रेड सॉइल, सी ब्लैक सॉइल एंड डी सैंडी सॉइल. द राइट आंसर इज रेड सॉइल. रेड सॉइल ये हार्ड होता है कल्टीवेशन के लिए. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर एक्सर्टेड ऑन अर्थ इज ड्यू टू ए रोटेशन ऑफ अर्थ, बी रेवोल्यूशन ऑफ अर्थ, सी ग्रेविटेशनल पुल एंड डी अनइवन हीटिंग ऑफ द अर्थ. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर जो होता है, जो एक्सर्ट होता है पृथ्वी पे, वो किस कारण से होता है? द राइट आंसर इज ग्रेविटेशनल पुल। द सदर्न टिप ऑफ इंडिया इज, पृथ्वी का सबसे दक्षिणी पॉइंट कौन सा है? ए केप ऑफ कैमोरिन, बी पॉइंट कैलिमेर, सी इंदिरा पॉइंट इन निकोबार आइलैंड, डी कोवलम इन त्रिवंद्रम। द राइट आंसर इज इंदिरा पॉइंट इन निकोबार आइलैंड। ये पृथ्वी का सबसे सदर्न पॉइंट है। इन डिटरमाइनिंग द इंडियन क्लाइमेट को डिटरमाइन करने के लिए मेजर रोल प्लेड बाय हिमालयाज, हिमालयाज ने बहुत बड़ा योगदान दिया है। वो क्या है? द ईस्ट वेस्ट एक्सटेंशन ऑफ ग्रेट हिमालयाज डज नॉट परमिट द समर मानसून। ईस्ट वेस्ट एक्सटेंशन जो है ग्रेट हिमालयाज का, वो समर मानसून को परमिट नहीं करता क्रॉस करने के लिए। एंड दस कीप्स इट्स सोजर्न रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू इंडिया, और वो इंडिया में आने के लिए रेस्ट्रिक्ट करता है। बी डायरेक्ट समर मानसून टूवर्ड्स द नॉर्थ वेस्ट, या फिर डायरेक्ट समर मानसून जो कि नॉर्थ वेस्ट एरिया में होता है। सी ड्यूरिंग द विंटर दे स्टॉप द साउथवर्ड पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ द कोल्ड एंड ड्राई पोलर एयर, या फिर डी ऑल ऑफ द एबो। द राइट आंसर इज ऑल ऑफ द एबो। ये सारे ही कारण होते हैं हिमालयस को मेजर रोल प्ले करने में इंडिया का क्लाइमेट। सो दिस इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ टुडेज मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज। द रॉक मटेरियल कैरिड बाय अ ग्लेशियर इज कॉल्ड, जो रॉक मटेरियल होता है ग्लेशियर से कैरी होता है वो उसे क्या कहा जाता है? ए एलुवियम, बी मींडर्स, सी नोड्यूल्स, या फिर डी मोरेन्स। इसका राइट आंसर है मोरेन्स। सो थैंक यू फॉर टुडेज मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज। आई होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग गुड। हर रोज अपने मॉक टेस्ट रहेंगे, आप प्लीज अटेंड कीजिए, आपके लिए बहुत बेहतर है, आपकी प्रिपरेशन के लिए बहुत बेहतर है। हर रोज आपका हर एक अलग अलग यूनिट पे आपका मॉक टेस्ट रहेगा। आप जितना ज़्यादा मॉक टेस्ट अटेंड करोगे आपका प्रिपरेशन बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाएगा और आपके एग्जामिनेशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी। सो थैंक यू फॉर टुडेज सेशन। लेट्स मीट इन द नेक्स्ट मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज।
The issue of homopiles, status dislocation. So kindly focus on the question. Here they are asking about the communicator and the experience. So definitely we will go with the usual method of downsizing the options which are not nearby to the question. So communicator will never manipulate the emotions. It's not possible. He will never do a status dislocation, which is, it's a system, okay, or a process. He would never go with an issue of homopiles because it will be consisting only of a community. But when we talk about anticipated excitement, yes, because that is a feeling due to happening of something. Like for example, the feeling before your mock test series, which started right now, the feeling before your exam, the feeling before your display of results. So the answer for this question is correct option is option number B. स्टूडेंट्स, हिंदी मीडियम वाले स्टूडेंट्स, आपके क्वेश्चंस भी हिंदी में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहे हैं। सो आप भी क्वेश्चंस को साथ साथ पढ़ के, सारे रूल्स आपके लिए भी सेम है एंड यू कैन जस्ट स्पीड अप विथ योर प्रैक्टिस। लेट्स गो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. Instructions which encourage live participation and interaction through online classes. यानी जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में दी जाती है उस इंस्ट्रक्शंस को क्या बोला जाता है? सिंक्रोनियस इंस्ट्रक्शंस, असिंक्रोनियस इंस्ट्रक्शंस, ट्रेडिशनल इंस्ट्रक्शंस, थियोरेटिकल। अभी इंस्ट्रक्शंस है और लाइव है, ऑनलाइन लाइव क्लासेस, सो ऑब्वियसली ट्रेडिशनल तो होंगे नहीं, theoretical भी होंगे नहीं. So it depends. Now these are the two options which are left: synchronous and asynchronous. When it is a live classes and when the instructions are going live, those instructions are called as synchronous instructions. So the right option for this question is option number A, that is synchronous instructions. Let's go to question number 3. In the context of communication, usual sequences, whenever the communication takes place, तो यूजुअल सीक्वेंस कौन सा होता है? नाउ मे बी आपको थोड़ा सा लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ के कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है, सो जस्ट फोकस ऑन द क्वेश्चन. इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट द कम्युनिकेशन एंड इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट द सीक्वेंस. सीक्वेंस यानी ऑर्डर, द लॉजिक, ओके, द लॉजिकल ऑर्डर. तो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट कम्युनिकेशन, ऑब्वियसली कम्युनिकेशन से होना है तो कम्युनिकेशन से ही स्टार्ट होना चाहिए. So communication, so here we do not have an option of language which will get cancelled. So we have two options with us. Okay, let's see now. So when we are talking about communication, obviously सबसे पहले क्या use होगा? Language. फिर होगा which will be conveyed to the society, that is in the form of civilized way. So the option number 3 is the right answer for this question. That is, your correct answer is option number 3. Next is your question number 4, which is based on assertion and reasoning. So yes, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस को आपको कैसे सॉल्व करना है? You don't have to consider yourself in the situation. आपको सिर्फ क्वेश्चंस पढ़ने हैं और उस क्वेश्चन को ही उस रीजन से एनालाइज करना है. आपको आपके पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को कंसिडर नहीं करना है. You have to focus on the assertion and the given reason. So the question is, assertion is टीचर कम्युनिकेशन इज सेंट्रल टू द क्लासरूम मैनेजमेंट. यानी अगर टीचर को क्लासरूम मैनेज करना है, टीचर का कम्युनिकेशन स्टैंडर्डाइज या सेंट्रल होना चाहिए. Yes, this option is right because classroom में बहुत सारे different ways, different attitudes, beliefs, customs के बच्चे होते हैं, तो centralized होना चाहिए. Now, what reason they have given for this? Teacher communication behaviors should not be used to regulate the classroom behavior of the students. Should not be used. क्लासरूम में एग्जैक्टली रोल टीचर का क्या है? बहुत सारे रोल्स है, बट उसमें से एक इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है टू रेगुलेट द क्लासरूम बिहेवियर. तो ऑब्वियसली सेंट्रलाइज्ड मैनेजमेंट तो होना ही चाहिए, बट द रीजन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट नो. सो डेफिनेटली दिस कैन नॉट बी द ट्रू ऑप्शन. सो अगर जहां पे आर ट्रू है, वो ऑप्शन हमारे ऑप्शन वो राइट है ही नहीं. Okay, so if you see, all the option gets cancelled. So your correct option is option number 4, that is A is true and R is false. That is your right answer is option number 4. Next question. Again, it's on assertion and reason. Meaning of messages used in the classroom are arbitrary in nature. Okay, so what is the meaning of arbitrary? That is personal whims, or it is called as a random choice. Okay, personal hai. The meaning of messages used in the classrooms are arbitrary in nature. That is personal. उसका रीजन क्या दिया है? मीनिंग्स आर लर्न्ड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ वंस प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस. यानी हमारा प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस वंस तो पर्सनल है, सो डेफिनेटली इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन व्हाट? इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन आवर पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस इटसेल्फ. तो A and R दोनों ट्रू है. सो व्हाट इट इज फॉल्स, इट्स इट्स कैंसल आउट. तो दोनों ट्रू है, तो फर्स्ट और सेकंड में से कौन सा ऑप्शन राइट हो सकता है? बट हमने ये भी पढ़ा कि ट्रू तो है, बट R is also the proper reason for what? It's a proper reason for A. So if you see here, the option number A, that is the first option, is the right answer. Next question is again based on assertion and reason. Classroom communication has a cultural dimension. Okay, अभी culture का मतलब क्या है? रीड द रीजन. ऐसे अगर ऐसे सिचुएशन आता है जब आपको assertion समझ में नहीं आता है, सो बेटर बिफोर मेकिंग एनी कंक्लूजन आप पहले रीजन रीड करो. So reason is what? Beliefs, habits, customs and language are the cultural characteristics of communication. So culture comprises of what? Culture comprises of beliefs, habits, customs and languages. So yes, this is the correct option. Okay, so statement A is true. Okay, R is also true. तो जहां false होगा आप उसको cancel कर दो. Okay, लेकिन यहाँ पे मैंने क्या बोला है? ट्रू है और उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन भी राइट है. सो योर ऑप्शन नंबर A is the correct option. The next question. Okay, that is question number 7. Connotative communication inside the classroom is what? Is it direct, critical, implicit or explicit? Now in such question, first of all, आपको ये question करने के लिए आपको connotative का meaning पता होना चाहिए. It's nothing but it is called as the secondary word. Secondary word which expresses the emotions or idea. That is communication है ना, तो वो express करता है. So जब भी मैंने बोला secondary का मतलब है which is which comes after the primary part. Okay, तो ये कैसा है? It's indirect. सी उसका जो इम्पैक्ट है वो पॉजिटिव भी हो सकता है, वो नेगेटिव भी हो सकता है. ना डोंट थिंक कि कम्युनिकेटिव कम्युनिकेशन जो कम्युनिकेशन है वो नेगेटिव है या पॉजिटिव है. इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सिचुएशन. लेकिन वो कौन सा टाइप का कम्युनिकेशन है? इट्स अ सेकेंडरी कम्युनिकेशन. सो कैसे होगा उसका how it will be inside the classroom? Is it direct? Is it critical? Is it implicit or it is explicit? तो सेकेंडरी है, इसका मतलब वो डायरेक्ट होगा ही नहीं. ओके, एक्सप्लिसिट का मीनिंग डायरेक्ट है, वो क्रिटिकल होगा भी नहीं. सो द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस इज इट इज इम्प्लिसिट. Okay, let's move to question number 8. Now question number 8 talks about communication through colors can result in. Now communication with the help of colors. So somewhere it tells about what ki wo non-verbal communication hai. Okay, now the options are aesthetic codes, cultural codes, semantic codes, binary codes. Binary codes hoga nahi. Okay, it's not a computer language. Semantic ke logical hai nahi. When it comes about colors, it talks about what? Appreciation. It talks about beliefs. It talks about values. So definitely it is option number 1 and option number 2. So if you see the right answer for this option, this question is your option number B. Okay. Question number 9. Variables that affect the information processing in a classroom are. यानी जो क्लासरूम में वेरिएबल्स यूज होते हैं that affect the information, वो कैसे होते हैं? They are what? Are they the perception levels? Are they the learned habits? Are they the attitudes, beliefs and values? Are they the selective factor? Okay, or are they the market expectation, or are they institutional intervention? So maybe आपको नहीं समझा है, just go to the question once again. Variables that affect the information processing in classroom. Information in classroom किस वजह से affect हो सकता है? So अगर आपको question confuse कर रहा है, just catch the catchy words. एक तो है आपका information, दूसरा है classroom. यानी आप बच्चों से interact कर रहे हो, तो उस particular interaction में क्या सबसे ज्यादा affect हो सकता है? Obviously market expectation होगा नहीं, institutional intervention hoga nahi. Okay, so just go through this 4 options again. Perception, yes. Habits, yes. Attitude, belief, yes. And selectivity, यानी कि कौन से communication idea को लेना है और कौन से ideas को eliminate करना है. So if you see your options, that is option number 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to select 1, 2. So 5 is not there. So just cancel the 5. So बचता है कौन सा आपका option number 4. So option number 4 is see market expectation होगा ही नहीं. So wherever the option 5 is there, just cancel it out. सबसे ज़्यादा easy है ये method. So option number 4 is your right answer. Then we have next question of assertion and reason. Selective exposure in the classroom is dependent on students' perception and knowledge about the source of information. The reason is the effectiveness of the communication source determines the selective exposure of the students to information. So this is the option for you. तो सिलेक्टिव एक्सपोजर यानी अगर हम किसी के कम्युनिकेशन को सुनते हैं लाइक यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट और टीचर के बीच है ना, वो किस पे डिपेंड होता है? स्टूडेंट्स परसेप्शन एंड नॉलेज अबाउट द सोर्स, कि कौन सा विच टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन हैज टू बी परसीव्ड इन व्हाट वे. So yes, it is dependent on student only, because the effectiveness of this source determines the selective exposure of the students. So yes, the question that is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation for A, because ultimately the one who is the receiver, जो students है, वो उन पे depend करता है कौन से information को कैसे perceive करे, कैसे absorb करे, और उसमें से कौन सा what type of benefit can be taken out. Okay. Please remember, this question is very, very important. I mean to say, iska jo understanding hai, wo important hai. Like for example, many a times we tell that we do not listen to the lecture. Understanding ki lecture boring hai, or ya lecture samajh nahi raha hai. Lekin agar aap usko theek se sunoge, everything which is coming to you, okay, has something learning, has a learning lesson out of it. So it depends upon your exposure. Agar aap usko, if you deny to listen, obviously आपके लिए वो कुछ effective होगा ही नहीं. So that is the meaning of this question. Now let's go to question number, that is the option for this question, as I said, is option number 1, a correct option. Let's go to question number 11. In the context of email, okay, what is spam? Now we know we get a spam mails, okay, so spam को क्या बोला जाता है? Okay, now actually spam mails are those mail, okay, if you see the options, the act of overloading an email server by denial of service attacks, email messages that are infected with viruses, A large quantity of e-messages do not reach the recipient. Unsolicited advertising sent to a large number of recipients. So if you know कि spam क्या है, ये question बहुत ही easy है. Spam is nothing but, it is called of, it is like a message, okay, or a mail which we didn't ask for, but still it falls in our mailbox. So हम जो हम पूछ नहीं रहे हैं फिर भी वो हमारे पास आ जाते हैं. So such type, उसके लिए अगर एक one word use करें, so it is called as unsolicited advertising. Okay, जिसकी हमें जरूरत नहीं है, but still it gets into our mailbox. So spam is what? Unsolicited advertising sent to a large number of recipients. So that is your option number 4 is the right answer. In a classroom, probability of message reception can be enhanced by, like for example, the meaning of this question is classroom में क्या chances है कि message, okay, reception is enhanced by what? किस चीज से वो ज्यादा enhance हो सकता है? Exposing the ignorance of the students, ये negative है, तो definitely it is not possible. Increasing the information load, नहीं होगा, because आप जितना information load बढ़ाओगे, it will be difficult for the student to digest, so it is not possible. Using high decibel audio tools, it's not at all possible, because it definitely there is a capacity for a noise decibels, so this is not the correct answer. So establishing a viewpoint can be the probability. Whenever you give a receptant a viewpoint establishment, the chances for the message reception becomes high. Enhanced, it means it becomes high. So you have your option number 4 as the correct answer. The spatial video audio reproduction in the classroom can reduce the students. Okay, when we talk about an audio reproduction, okay, now spatial audio reproduction ये कैसे होता है? It is it's in 360 degree angle. जब बच्चों को 360 degree angle में message pass होता है, so what happens? What it produces? Respect for the teacher? Definitely not. Motivation for excellence? No, it does not. Interest in technology orientation? No. Cognitive load in understanding. Now see, as I said, जो message बच्चों को दिया जाता है, that is spatial audio which we call, it is creating a sound in 360 degree angle, sub from all the angles, from all the corners. So it becomes easier for a student, for a child, that cognitive load in understanding, यानी जो mental capacity understanding की वो थोड़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है. So this is the correct answer. That is option number 4 is the correct answer for your given question. The next is a good communicator begins with his or her presentation with a what? Now, like for example, आपको ये question नहीं पता. Okay, now see, in such type of questions, maybe आपको non-sequitur, repetitive phrase, ice break या complex question नहीं पता. Okay, अभी यहाँ पे क्या दिया है? A good communicator. Good communicator कभी भी complex question नहीं use करेगा. It's simple. Okay, repetitive phrase नहीं use करेगा. See, good communicator, it means he is strong with his communication skills, his presentations, his way of dealing the audiences. Okay, so now whenever a stranger stands in front of him, you are not ready to open up, या तो डर है, or you are not able to understand. So जब भी ऐसे situation होता है, a communicator always try to make the audiences comfortable. जैसे like for example, teacher enters the class for the first time. Okay, so teacher knows that she's interacting with the students for the first time, so teacher wants to create that bonding, that comfortable zone, so that the students speak up. Okay, so in that sense, a communication always should start with a icebreaker. Icebreaker, it means that it's like creating an environment of comfort and then allowing the students to speak. इससे impact बहुत अच्छा होता है और positive होता है. So the answer for this question is option number C. Next question, the classroom communication should be essentially. Classroom communication कैसे होना चाहिए? Okay, when we are talking about classroom communication, abstract, in short, nahi. Okay, non-descriptive, definitely not. Contrived, it's not. It means that these are all negative qualities. तो क्लासरूम कम्युनिकेशन हमेशा कैसे होना चाहिए? एम्पैथेटिक. It means where it is supportive, where it is polite, where it gives, you give an attention to the either, like for example, to the children, to the student. So it creates, a positivity. Or rest of the options are negative, like towards negative. So the classroom communication should always be empathetic. Okay, that is your option number 1 is your correct option. The next question which we have is question number 16. When verbal and non-verbal messages are contradictory, यानी दोनों में confusion है, different है, तो हमेशा people किस पे believe करते हैं? Interdeterminate messages, verbal messages, non-verbal messages, aggressive messages. Now, obviously, aggressive messages, it's not possible. Interdeterminate इसका मतलब आपको doubt है थोड़ा सा, it's not possible again. Verbal or non-verbal. Okay, now many a times there is a confusion in these questions. Please listen. Whenever action speaks great, actions are more greater than the words, speaks more than the words. So always such type of messages में सिर्फ non-verbal messages people believe at. People believe at non-verbal messages. So here your option number 3 is the right answer. Okay, next, the typical feature of an information-rich classroom lecture is in the nature of being. यानी कोई भी classroom का typical feature of with respect to information, which type of information students seek. तो यहाँ पे आपको सबसे ये बेस है, ये communication के subject का बेस है. Students go either for sedentary, staggered, factual or sectorial. So if you know, students always, nowadays the generation always looks for a factual message, facts. They believe in facts. Imagination se zyada unko they need to have, a strong base to believe on some message. So that this type of messages, the information rich classroom lecture is always to be in the nature of what? It should be in the nature of factual information. Next, expressive communication is driven by. So when you are talking about expressive communication, now see expressive. When we talk about expressive communication, इसमें बहुत सारे factors आते हैं. Okay, like for example, your facial expressions, your volume, your pitch, your body language, your gestures. So there are a lot of things. Okay, so अगर आप options देख रहे हो, passive aggression, encoder's personality characteristics, external clues, encoder decoder contract. Now if you read the question carefully, passive तो होगा नहीं. Okay, expressive है तो passive तो दोनों opposite है. External clues होगा नहीं. It is, it is communicated. Okay, so clues तो होंगे नहीं. Contract से there is no question of contract. So it is about personality. I told you, expressive communication में बहुत सारे factors consider होते हैं. जैसे आपके gestures है, eye contact है, body language है. So it is all about the encoder's personality. So your option number 2 is the right answer. Question number 19. Positive classroom communication leads to. यानी अगर classroom communication positive है, so it leads to what? Coercion, confrontation, submission, persuasion. Okay, so always remember, whenever there is a positive classroom, okay, this, the 3 options are not a nearby options. Okay, it always leads to persuasion. Okay, ensuring that you persuade your child either to create an interest in the subject, interest in studies, interest in their overall personality development. So positive classroom communication हमेशा persuasion का characteristics disclose करता है. That is option number 4 is your right answer. Next, classroom communication is the basis of what? Classroom communication is the basis of social identity, external inerties, bias passivity, group aggression. Okay, so if you read the question very carefully, okay, these are all the negative things which are not possible. So if your classroom communication always help the child to create his social identity by transforming his personality, overall personality. So it helps in what? It helps in social identity. Okay, question number 21. Effective communication presupposes Now, what is the meaning of presupposes? अगर आपको इसका meaning याद, if you know the meaning very well, आप immediately answer कर सकते हो. Presupposes का मतलब है which helps you to know, which helps you to understand. Okay, so effective communication कभी भी domination नहीं लाएगा, non-alignment नहीं लाएगा. Okay, or effective communication cannot bring passivity. So effective communication only helps to what? It helps for understanding. Okay, so option number 4 is the right answer. Then in communication process, signs derive meaning through. In communication process, signs के meanings, okay, किससे? With the help of what? Okay, here subjectivity of components, objectivity of the decoder, network of interrelation, neutrality of the channel. So we are talking about signs. So obviously subjectivity or objectivity आएगा नहीं. Okay, channel neutral nahi hoga. So it is what? It's because of the network interrelations. So the right answer for this is option number C, network interrelation. This is a recent, this question was in a recent year. तो ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा this is maybe first time आप देख रहे हो, तो ये recent year का क्वेश्चन है. Okay, so you just have to understand कि science derive करना है process में, तो it happens because of what? It happens because of network of interrelations. Next question. What do communicated words carry in a classroom situation? Classrooms में जो word communicate होते हैं, okay, उससे students को क्या मिलता है? What type of situation does it create? Okay, now read the question properly और आप ना पहले options पढ़ो. Inspiration, controversy and introspection, diversion, criticism and irrationality, insipidity, irrationality and non-acceptance, power, structure, tradition. Okay, अगर आप अभी देखोगे classroom communication situation, communicated words situation कैसे create करता है? Controversy होगा नहीं, because this is not possible. We keep our children away from this. Criticism, we do not teach our child. Okay, insipidity, irrationality and non-acceptance. अगर non-acceptance हम बच्चों को नहीं सिखाते, insipidity का मतलब होता है boring, तो वो that we don't try, we bring enthusiasm. So it is power, structure and tradition. Now see, इसमें आपको concepts पता होने चाहिए, meanings at least. Controversy आपको पता है, criticism आपको पता है. ये question में भी insipidity आपको नहीं पता, but हम बच्चों को तो non-acceptance नहीं सिखाते हैं. So it should give power, structure and tradition. So here your question, that is option number D, is the right option for the question. So just आपको बहुत carefully question पढ़ना है और options. आपके answers आपके सामने ही रहते हैं. You just have to show your alertness of mind. Okay, words को ठीक से पढ़ के try to ensure that your judgment comes properly. Next, as a good classroom communicator, you are supposed to know your. अभी आपको अगर आप एक good communicator हो, okay, तो आपको क्या पता होना चाहिए? Audience emotions, silent clues, artful pauses and counter arguments. Okay, audience emotions, but आपके audiences same नहीं होंगे, और emotions, maybe people are faking the emotions, तो ये option नहीं होगा. Silent clues, it's not possible. We have to deal with 50 to 60 students in a class, so it's not possible. Counter arguments, no. Pauses, तो आप artful pauses, यानी आपको कहाँ pause लेना है, कहाँ रुकना है, कितना रुकना है, how to bring back your child to the to the lessons. So this is an art and you should know about this if you are a good classroom communicator. So your right answer is answer number C, artful pauses. Next, figure out the components of, components का मतलब होता है factors, non-verbal communication in a classroom. Abhi non-verbal communication, don't jump to the answer, read all the options carefully. Facial expression, cultural space and sitting arrangement, speed of utterance, feel good factor and octosius, high sound, physical ambience and teacher learner distance, facial expression, kinesis and personal space. तो अभी अगर आप देख रहे हो facial expression, cultural space, sitting arrangement does not text non-verbal, तो ये नहीं होगा. Speed of utterance, feel good factor, acoustics. Now this does not shows utterance यानी बोलना, so this does not shows any non-verbal communication clue. High sound, physical ambience and teacher learning distance. It does not show any type of non-verbal communication. So facial expressions, okay, kinesis, that is distance, and the personal space shows you what? The components of non-verbal communication. So here, your option number D is the right option for the question. Next, which of the following are the basic factors of effective listening? Okay, so opinion, that is opinionation, stare and glare and interruptions, aggressive questioning, continuous cues and frequent movement, mutuism, glancing sideways and offering advice, acknowledgement of thoughts, reflection and asking open-ended questions. So out of this, which is the effective listening, factor for effective listening? Okay, interruptions nahi hoga, listening effective nahi hoga, aggressive questioning effective nahi hoga, mutuism इफेक्टिव नहीं होगा, और ऑफरिंग एन एडवाइस भी नहीं होगा इफेक्टिव. इफेक्टिव होने के लिए आपके थॉट्स का को एक्नॉलेज होना चाहिए, उसका रिफ्लेक्शन होना चाहिए, ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चंस होने चाहिए, then only your listening can be effective. This is also the recent question in the final of the NET examination. So just ensure that how the question, see, you know these things, but you should know what type of option is the best possible option. So here the option number D is the best possible option. The choice of communication partners is influenced by. Now see, आपके communication partners की choice किस factor से influence होती है? Proximity, utility, loneliness. Utility, secrecy, dissonance. Dissonance का मतलब होता है disagreement. Secrecy, dissonance, deception. Dissimilarity, dissonance and deviance. अगर आपको इसके words नहीं पता है, लेकिन आपको dissonance का मतलब, see, you should know your terms very well. Dissonance का मतलब है disagreement. अगर आपके partner, communication partner में हमेशा अगर disagreement होगा, definitely things are not going to work out. So if you see, all the option goes wrong. Okay, your correct option is proximity, utility and loneliness. Okay, so this is option number A is your right answer. See, please try to understand. You should know the meanings well. तो आपको easy हो जाता है options cut करने के लिए, and you come very near to the close option. Then, languages of communication also constitutes. Communication के जो language होते हैं, it constitutes of what? Random world? नहीं, random तो नहीं हो सकता है. Social world, divine world, unsanified world. So divine नहीं हो सकता है, unsanified नहीं हो सकता है. It's about the society, the social world. So communication, it's about what? It's about the society, the social world. So option number 2 is your right answer. Let's go to next question. Imagine you are working in an educational institution. आप एक educational institute में job कर रहे हो, where people are of equal status, the way you are. Which method of communication is best suited and normally employed in such context? Equal status का मतलब है same position. तो अगर आप एक educational institute में काम कर रहे हो and you are working with the people of same position, यानी same line, okay, same line of your position. So such type, see, I have given you the answer in my diagram itself. So such type of communication is called what? Horizontal, vertical, corporate or cross. Same line बोला है तो cross हो ही नहीं सकता है. It's an educational institution, corporate हो ही नहीं सकता है. So same line, hierarchy नहीं बोला है. So obviously vertical नहीं हो सकता है. Vertical होता था तो it will be like that, hierarchy. But यहाँ पे same line बोला है, so it is horizontal. It's a horizontal communication. Option number A is your right answer. Next question. Identify the important element of a teacher has to take cognizance of what while addressing students in a classroom. कौन से element को teacher को consider करना पड़ेगा while addressing the students in the classroom. So whether it is avoidance of proximity, in a distance कम करना, voice modulation, okay, or it is repetitive pauses, or it is fixed posture. Fixed posture होगा नहीं because teacher has to keep on moving in the class. repetitive pauses होगे नहीं, students will get annoyed. Avoidance of proximity, no, there has to be a proper distance, standard distance. So the option here, the correct answer is a voice modulation. Teacher has to take consideration of voice modulation while addressing the students in the classroom. So option number B is your right answer. Next question. What are the barriers of effective communication? Barriers. I hope everyone knows the meaning of barriers. Barriers ka matlab hai which can bring obstacles in communication. So moralizing, being judgmental, and comments on consolation, dialogue, summary, and self-review, use of simple words, cool reaction, and defensive attitude, personal statement, eye contact, and simple narration. So what are the barriers? See, आप क्वेश्चन ठीक से रीड करो. बैरियर्स, ऑब्स्टिकल. अगर आप इस ऑप्शंस पढ़ते हो, सेल्फ रिव्यू, ये तो अच्छी बात है. यूज ऑफ सिंपल वर्ड्स, अच्छी बात है. पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट, आई कॉन्टैक्ट, अच्छी बात है. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रॉब्लम्स. सो जजमेंटल होना, मॉरलाइजिंग करना, इट्स नॉट गुड. बट ये इन्होंने यही पूछा है, बैरियर क्या हो सकता है? दैट इज योर ऑप्शन, फर्स्ट ऑप्शन. सो ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज योर राइट आंसर. Coming to your next question, that is aspects of voice other than speech. Other aspects of voice, क्या उसको बोलते हैं? That is called as physical language, personal language, para language, delivery language. Physical तो होगा नहीं, personal होगा नहीं, delivery language hoga nahi. So it is para language. It's nothing but it's a meta communication. It means it's like a secondary communication. So it is called as what? Para language. This is also a recent question. So just recent questions hai, uske aap notes banao. So it will be helpful for you in the upcoming examination. That is right answer is option number C. Now, every type of communication is affected by its reception, transmission, non-regulation, context. So when we are talking about communication किससे affect हो सकता है? Definitely reception से नहीं, transmission से नहीं, non-regulation नहीं, but context. Okay, context can create a lot of effect. It can create a lot of impact on the type of communication. So your right answer is option number D, that is context. Moving ahead. Attitudes, actions, and appearance in the context of classroom communication. Now see, attitudes, actions, and appearance. Appearance. यहाँ पे उन्होंने बहुत clear question दिया है. वो क्या हो सकता है? Verbal, non-verbal, impersonal, irrational. Impersonal, irrational होगा ही नहीं. Okay, it's not nearby at all. Attitude, action, appearance दिया है. Okay, या कहीं पे भी उन्होंने verbal indication diya nahi hai. So all these are the examples of what? All these are the examples of non-verbal. So your option here is non-verbal communication. Agar aap dekh rahe ho, we have done 34 questions. 34 questions में से non-verbal के लिए उन्होंने बहुत questions पूछे हैं in different way. So आपको ये सब पता होने चाहिए कि कौन से type के, you should start making a judgment कि कौन से type के questions, कौन से topic के questions are being more frequent but with a twist. So you have to make a proper judgment of all these questions and read the question when it appears very clearly. Let's go to the next question. Most often, the teacher-student communication is what? The teacher-to-student communication is plurist, critical, utilitarian, confrontational. So plurist इसका मतलब जिसको हम eliminate करते हैं. So it's not possible. Critical, no. Utilitarian and confrontational. Okay, it means that the one which is utilized. So teacher and student, if they are communicating, so क्या उसमें से हम ले सकते हैं? The one which is most and most utilized, जहाँ पे student can utilize more and more out of the teacher, and teacher can utilize more from the student to understand the student. So it is called as utilitarian. So option number C is your right answer for this question. Let's go ahead. In a classroom, the communicator's trust level is determined by. क्लासरूम में कम्युनिकेटर का ट्रस्ट लेवल किससे डिटरमाइंड होता है? जो कम्युनिकेट करता है उसका ट्रस्ट लेवल. यूज ऑफ हाइपरबोले, चेंज ऑफ वॉइस लेवल, द यूज ऑफ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कंसेप्ट्स, आई कांटेक्ट. ओके, यू शुड नो द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड. हाइपरबोले का मतलब ओवर एग्जैगरेशन, you know, when you are very over exaggerating the things. नहीं, बहुत सारे maybe बच्चों को पसंद नहीं है, so this will not be an option. Change of voice level, no, they want you to be a same, I mean to say your voice level should know when to, you know, when to go at a higher one, when to come at lower, but frequent changes will not be accepted. Trust will not be there. Use of abstract concepts, so you know, they are very difficult to judge at, so no. So how you will create a test? A confident eye contact, a proper eye contact will give you the trust level. Okay, so option number D is your right answer. Next question. Which of the following is not a principle of effective communication? See, not. Please read the question very correctly. यहीं पे हम mistake कर लेते हैं. Okay. Use strategic use of grapevine, pervasive and convincing dialogue, participation of audience, one-way transfer of communication. So अगर आपने बहुत ज़्यादा जल्दी कर दिया, so you will definitely, you know, make a mistake over here. See, which of the following is not the principle? Not. So कभी भी हमने पढ़ा है communication always has to be a two-way process. तो यहाँ पे grapevine is accepted. Sometimes informal communication चलता है. Okay, pervasive होना चाहिए, participation of audience होना चाहिए. तो कौन सा accept नहीं होगा? One way. Why? Because communication has to always be a two-way process. Okay, so option number D is your right option. In communication, language को क्या माना जाता है इन कम्युनिकेशन? लैंग्वेज, सी ऑप्शन. ये अभी ये क्वेश्चन मैंने आपको जस्ट बोला था, वर्बल और नॉन वर्बल पे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, बट विद अ ट्विस्ट. सो यू शुड नो इट वेरी वेल. लैंग्वेज, तो लैंग्वेज है, इंट्रापर्सनल होगा नहीं. इंट्रा यानी हम हमसे ही, यू नो, वी आर जस्ट विद आवरसेल्फ. नो, सिंबॉलिक कोड, क्योंकि वो नॉन वर्बल आता है. सो लैंग्वेज इज व्हाट? नॉन वर्बल है नहीं. सो लैंग्वेज इज पार्ट ऑफ व्हाट? It's a part of verbal code. So here the correct option is option number B is your right answer. Next, which of the following are the characteristic features of communication? Read all the points. Communication involves exchange of ideas, facts and opinions. Communication involves both information and understanding. Communication is a continuous process. Communication is a circular process. So if you see, it's involved exchange. ये communication का definition है. So yes, it is. This is the right option. Communication involves both information and understanding. Yes. Continuous होना चाहिए. Yes. Circular होना चाहिए. It's like two-way type. Yes. So if you see, all the options are correct. So option number A, which includes all the option A, B, C, and D. So your right option for this answer is, sorry, for this question is option number A. Next one. Effectiveness of communication can be traced by from which of the following? अगर आपको effectiveness trace करना है तो कौन से option से करोगे? Attitude survey, performance record, student attendance, or you know, selection of communication. So the right answer for this, okay, that is attitude survey, students performance, or students attendance, or you can go with selection of communication. So if you see over here, every option, okay, ये सारे यूज होंगे जब हमें, you know, effectiveness of communication stress करना है. Okay, so if you see here, the option number B is your right answer. A, B, C, D. Okay. Now, the term grapevine is also called, अभी just मैंने, this is also, you know, just हमने अभी उसका concept किया था. The term grapevine is also called as horizontal, downward communication, informal communication, or upward communication. So your answer, right answer is what? Grapevine is termed as informal communication. So for this, the right answer is option number C. Okay. Next, assertion and reason. Assertion. Formal communication tends to be fast and flexible, whereas reason is given. Formal communication is a systematic and orderly flow of information. So यहाँ पे formal communication tends to be fast and flexible, ऐसे कहीं पे भी नहीं बताया है. Formal communication is systematically and orderly flow of information. Yes, it is correct. But A is what? A is false. So here there is no explanation. The statement A is false and R is true, or R is correct. Okay. So here if you see, your option number A is the right answer. Next, The dance of honeybee conveying to the other bees, that is honeybee conveying to other bees, other honeybees, where nectar will be found is an example of what? Dance of honeybee conveying to other bees. Okay, ये क्या, इसको हम कौन से टाइप का कम्युनिकेशन बोलेंगे? मास, ग्रुप, इंटरपर्सनल, इंट्रा. इंट्रा तो होगा नहीं, interpersonal between two people hai, hoga nahi. So it is, it is, one honeybee telling to other bees. So it is nothing but it is called as what? It is called as group communication. So your option is option number B is your right answer. This question is also a recent exam based question. तो थोड़ा इसको नोट करके रखो. You can get, such examples और आपको communication के types find करने बोलेंगे. Next one. The mode of communication that involves a single source transmitting information to a large number of receivers. Single source hai, okay, or large number of receivers hai simultaneously. So again, it can be which type of? Intra or interpersonal hoga nahi. Okay, यहाँ पे देखो बहुत large number दिया है. So it will be definitely what? A mass communication. So here your right option is option number B, that is mass communication. Next, a smart classroom, read the word very well. A smart classroom is a teaching space which has smart portion with a touch panel control system, PCs, personal computers, laptop connection, and DVD or VCR player, a document, camera, and specialized software, projector, and screen. So if you see all the options, okay, these are used in the smart classrooms. Obviously, touch panel, connection, laptop connection, camera, projectors. See, these are all the options which will be all the available tools which will require for a smart classroom. So option number D, which will be consisting of all the options, will be your right answer. So in this, the right answer for the question is option number D. Next, the term yellow journalism refers to. Now yes, ये communication का एक term है, yellow journalism. हम इसे कहाँ पे use करते हैं? Sensational news about terrorism and violence, sensationalism and exaggeration to attract readers or viewers, sensational news about arts and culture, and sensational news prints in yellow paper. So which type of option here this? ये तो होगा नहीं, okay? Violence हम नहीं करेंगे, okay? Sensational news about arts and culture, it is not covering everything. So basically, yellow journalism is a concept or a term which is used to, attract the reader towards the towards a communication message. जैसे advertisements है, or you want to attract the people to the newspaper. तो आप एक उस punch line या tag line ऐसे लिखते हो, people get automatically attracted towards the news. So that is called as yellow journalism. So option number B is your right answer. Next, in the classroom, the teacher sends a message either as words or images. Either as words or images. इसका मतलब है verbally or non-verbally. Students कौन है? Who are students really are? Encoder, decoder, agitators, propagators. So these are not an close option. So students, teacher message दे रहे हैं, teacher message दे रहे हैं. So teacher becomes what? Teacher becomes encoders. Students message receive कर रहे हैं, तो obviously students क्या हो जाएंगे? Decoders. Okay, the one who sends the message, communication process या communication cycle में हमने पढ़ा है. The one who sends the message, sender is an encoder, receiver is the decoder. तो टीचर सेंड कर रही है मैसेज, तो यहाँ पे टीचर क्या है? एनकोडर. स्टूडेंट्स रिसीव इट, इररेस्पेक्टिव वो वर्बल है नॉन वर्बल है, आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए उन्होंने वर्ड्स डाले हैं, बट स्टूडेंट्स क्या होंगे? डिकोडर. सो योर राइट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. ओके, breakdown in verbal communication is described as breakdown. What is breakdown called as? Breakdown, short circuit, no. Contradiction, no. Unevenness, no. Breakdown is called as entropy. Now this is nothing but lack of order. Okay, lack of order in communication, that is called as breakdown. So here your right option is option number D. Okay, next, the telephone model of communication was first developed in the area of technological dispersion theory, minimal effect theory, informational. So now the telephone is nothing but a communication model, okay, which comes under technology. So this was under what? This was under the technology theory. So here the right option is option number A. And here we are to the last question of our series, that is, in circular communication, the encoder becomes a decoder when there is encoder. See, ये circular communication है, ये encoder है और ये decoder है. पर इन्होंने question क्या पूछा है? Encoder becomes decoder. Encoder decoder कब बन जाएंगे? When there is a noise, when there is an audience, when there is criticality, when there is a feedback. Obviously noise, audience, criticality होगा नहीं. Encoder decoder कब बन जाएंगे? जब decoder will give the feedback to them. So encoder becomes what? A decoder. So that option here is, the right option is option number D, that is feedback. So here we end up with our mock test series 5. I request all the students to put your scores in the comment box, okay? And it will help us to plan your next test with what type of questions we have to come up or concept questions आपके लिए, आपके preparation के लिए डालने चाहिए. So just a small request to everyone, and stay tuned for the upcoming mock test series. Spread the message to all the NET participants, NET aspirants who are going to appear for this May 2021 to take maximum facility of this mock test series. और उसके साथ आप भी इसकी facility लो and ensure that you are enjoying this series by well preparation from your end and doing your best. So thank you everyone, to every one of you for watching this mock test series, and we will be back with our next series. Thank you everyone.